only got the Steam account?
No.
He's on a full
I
account.
don't
He's on
see
a
it
full
on
one.
here. I don't see it.
It's a Steam
Hang on,
name and
wait.
his VrChat name. Hey,
Has he
everybody.
been on since that time when they called accounts due to the terms of service change?
Welcome to our incredibly
I haven't
unorganized
seen him for
stream.
ages.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I
Anyway,
see
due to
him.
the terms of service, paying attention to the
Welcome to
Discord,
our
so if
incredible-
Zircon turns up, just message me and I'll come straight through. Like, talking like a minute
We're
tops.
Okay.
So,
waiting for everybody to get I'll here.
I'm going for toast.
Gallium's gonna go toast. Gonna get himself.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I'm
Pinky,
going,
it's so bright.
I'm going to bed.
Wait, what? What about
Put a
Pinky?
light on it.
What light?
Oh,
is that
man.
what that thing is up there?
Oh shit!
Way up there?
Yes. No, that's something else.
This
your
is the
fire
best I
is
could
too
come up
bright.
with.
That is so damn bright.
It hurts.
Coral,
Although I
you
will
need to
give you
turn the
props,
blue
that
down.
is an awesome
Maybe,
particle effect.
That looks
It's not the
amazing,
bloom, it's
though.
his hair.
It's
I
my
have
hair,
tattoos, too.
baby. Oh yeah, see, I got red fire tattoos.
Oh, nice.
Photoshop is awesome.
I suck at
And I have
Photoshop.
tattoos on my head.
Bloom
Look at the
is
back of my head.
Anyway, no, Pinky, with the hair, you need to lower its color space to like 1.2. Yeah, the emission to like 1.2 or less. 1.1 or less. Otherwise, the bloom's going to catch it and it's just going to blind us.
Oh, we need to get the D20 set up
And
so
remove
I
the
can listen
light.
to music
Join
in the background.
damn real
I don't
quick
think
and
there
then
is
tell
a
him to
light.
add
That's
you.
the
Keep trying to
thing.
add him. I'll be right back.
There is a light.
Oh, damn.
I can tell you that right now.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna go talk to
I didn't
Odam
see
and
a
tell him
setting
to
for
accept your invite.
Please,
Oh,
Pinky.
damn.
That
Odam's
thing is
online.
way up there that's like above the fire. I don't know what the hell that is and I can't get rid of it.
I don't
Damn
know.
it, Odam's
But
online.
please, you're blinding us.
Hello to the one person watching. We're currently very unorganized and we're waiting for people to get here.
Bird boy.
And for Bird Boy. We're waiting for
Yeah.
Bird Butt. I'm eating Chex Mix because they're delicious.
I'm gonna go to bed, but my Oculus probably broken.
Oh
I'm
no,
going to
what's up,
deload.
dude? What happened?
I don't know. I think after a certain time, the screen just blacks out, like it's overheated or something. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Where's the D4?
That's awful.
So now I'm in 2D mode. My
Where's the
That's
D4?
awful. I'm sorry, Ricardo.
I don't know. Kane was throwing it around. Oh, here it is.
Maybe it just needs to sit down for a second.
Oh damn! What's up, bro?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Wait,
Next time I open this, oh, it's
Yeah,
game
right,
I
it's been a
spectator
while.
for the evening.
Oh damn! It's
I already
Odam.
got
Alright,
him.
Decidius.
Damn,
You're gonna have to
Damn's
suffer
already
through
here.
this, the
Clem
rest of
sucks.
you.
Clem,
Odam,
why
it's
did you
Odam.
leave, you moron?
He
Because I
left
have to
because he was
show-
going to grab Odam. Now Odam is here. Damn it!
Jesus Christ. That is so
Dude, my
fucking bright.
eyes are embers.
It's me, Goose.
Quick.
I wondered if it'd be you, Ogre, because you're
Painted.
like you're
There's
such a
fucking
avid
no
watcher. You're
ties.
Oh,
such
there you
a
are,
great
Odam.
guy.
There you are, buddy.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man.
Oh, look at that shady.
Hello, other
Hey,
person
Richie.
who
I
left.
know. It works finally.
Screw you, no. I'm joking.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I was gonna greet
I'm
him.
a shitheaded
I
otter.
turned on
Can
the
you-
light on my fire.
Could you turn it off? It's
It actually
like...
looks
Yep,
good
that's
to
my
me, but
character
I think
sheet.
5 users
I only have half an idea what half the stuff means.
brightly.
I just roll the
Yeah,
dice and we let the
it's just like
Sidious tell us how
cry.
fucked we are.
That's what
Wow,
they do, they just
thanks.
cry.
I like this
I'm
check.
on
So far, we've been somewhat lucky.
I know.
Oh, guess
I
what,
almost got
everybody?
pulled to the
Koro's
fucking
an
void,
actual bitch now.
Okay, yeah,
This thing helped
backstory
me
with Cor-
calibrate my IBD.
Yeah, what happened with Cora was we found a magic
Your
meter
avatar's
that
awesome,
basically
though, Pinky.
changed the properties of
Your,
objects,
your
pushed
flames
through
on
it,
your head,
and
that's
changes
good.
people's genders.
Oh,
So
hey,
his character was
there is
started
a
off as
card
male,
here
and then
next
he
to you,
decided to
just
charge
so
the
you
know.
mirror
Let me
to
show
see
you
what
what I
happened.
made.
And
Running a
Nice, right?
scientific
yeah,
experiment.
it's all for science. Completely all
Let me
for
show you
science,
that
no
test
personal
avatar.
reasons.
I'm also writing a dissertation.
Oh yeah, let's see the goose. Oh, that's great, dude. You seem very attached
That
to
is
that hand
awesome.
build, don't you?
Yeah, I do. This is the
Good
hands
stuff.
are the only thing that wasn't made from scratch.
Oh, I thought you made it from scratch. That's what I was saying. You just really like that style.
No, I took them from Goosebot. Because fuck
Okay.
making hands. Right now, at least. I'm going to learn that one.
Yeah. But yeah, for you guys who don't know, this
Well,
is
I
the
mean,
dude who.
Goose.
You guys don't know, this is the
Can't
dude who
use
rigged up my
fucking
avatar
desktop
for
mode
me.
because it keeps crashing this fucking
The elusive
Steam VR is
Odam.
absolute bullshit. I hate this goddamn piece of crap.
There's ways you can disable
Give me
the
my goddamn
Oculus.
standalone.
There's ways you can disable the
check out
Oculus
their
client
community.
and just
We
use
also have it
DVR.
upstairs.
Is this like the map of your actual world that you're playing in, or is this like something else?
Yeah, this is the map of the world. We are currently situated,
It is the
I
living
think, in the southern
plane.
island.
Wrong.
Southern Island
we're
of
in the Northern
Europe.
Island?
Ooh,
Nope.
let me put some-
We are here in Winston.
Is there
Oh,
any music
okay.
playing yet or no?
No,
But
we're
no,
not
you're not
in
in
the
Winston.
D20. Are we in the D20?
What? Oh, that's
your,
right.
Your home
I'm in
base,
That's right,
your home
no.
base is in Winston. You
We're
guys are
currently
currently in the
here.
capital of Seymourset.
Yeah.
We're in the D20.
And
We're
Clem
in the
are in
capital
there,
city.
but Gallium and you are not. Or the bird.
I'm gonna have to restart Steam.
Roll 20, I mean, roll.
But yeah, Tyler, this whole map is actually based on the tavern our characters own. Basically, just did
Oh,
nothing
nice.
more than just Sadis's description. Cora was basically able to stitch together almost 100% right on the first try.
Oh, right. Cora was the one that was
So-
recording.
so
the
after this
Skyrim
game-
stuff. I was like, is this the
I'm
same?
gonna
Hmm?
Yeah,
do
check
a
this out,
voice
the
on
same
one from
Discord
before.
with me and give me a hand walking through what I need to cut down so I don't blind people.
Yes.
Hi,
I had some dipshit bitching about my hair in the hub saying, "You're killing my frame rate." And then as I'm looking at him, I'm going, "You're a fucking
We're
desktop user.
unorganized
Shut the
and
fuck
we're
up."
late for stream stuff. We're waiting for
No, it
everybody else
actually
to get.
is.
We're
It
waiting
does
for our
hurt the
bird
frame rate a
brain
little because
fellow
it
to
has a
get here.
dynamic light on it.
All right.
And I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I think I told you, I found a little dragon homunculus or something that is essentially...
It took me a while to try to get rid of, well, one, the weird ember / sparks coming off of it.
Oh,
which
it's
was all messed up.
Ruby.
Over here.
Oh, Ruby, why aren't you here?
I told him wrong, so right now he's
Why
trying
aren't
to
you
pull
here? You got the-
me so I can get
still
into
You
the
got the
room.
frickin'. You got the freaking. You got the.
Yeah,
You got the
apparently
driftwood.
The hidden room upstairs that had all the matched artifacts.
I thought you had the driftwood.
I don't know how to do
Who I
that.
guess was like a villain in Decidius'
Oh, goodbye, Rad. See you later, buddy. I'm waving at you.
That's not there yet. It will be added.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you just add it to the standard
This is gonna look weird for those who are watching this video later, because they're gonna be like, "Oh, they can't see the chat replay." Unfortunately, went out to get pizza. Well, damn it. Son of a bitch.
Okay, so just export
I would do that with mine, but
Silly.
this skin shader doesn't
Pizza's
support
delicious.
itself for some reason.
Or at least find it late game. And
So
I
I
found
gotta
it
modify it or something.
second in-game day.
Because I want them to be kind of like glowy red.
I like
Mhm.
pizza.
Yeah, I kinda want to do a soft glow.
Sides and back of the head as well.
Oh, we need to entertain people.
have
Golly,
one
I'm
that's
entertaining the
here, I
streamers.
think.
They're waiting. Where's the
Is it
bird
cheaper?
brain?
Yeah, okay.
Aye, and I have no idea. He's still not here.
But
Hold
you're
on,
both
I can
British.
entertain the stream. I can entertain the
No.
stream.
Keep. Oh, I thought you were gonna take the clothes off. Like, no, keep them on, buddy.
Oh my!
I could, but no.
You should, but not yet.
Just jump up and down. Oh, we didn't put jump.
I need to be. No, there's no
Okay,
jump. No, I just.
Pinky,
Thank you.
Pinky, does that fate? Oh my gosh, that's like Dead or Alive tits.
No.
Well, they freaking
Not
like.
even.
Have you played Dead or Alive? They freaking just.
I don't know what you're talking about. These are pretty
Kind of just
constrained.
warp everywhere.
They're not. Tits do not do that when you're wearing a bra. At least.
Yeah, she definitely ain't wearing a bra.
Yeah,
There's
you,
no bra
you
on
ain't
those
wearing no
joints.
bra.
Apparently he said the RV or something.
Mm.
Especially not a
Those
sports
things are
bra.
swinging
It's weird.
freely.
Bound your breasts.
No, but it's not
And I'm not
bad.
into breast binding,
I mean-
so yeah, we're good.
I'm a wizard, so
Wait, someone
I don't
just
need to
made a
wear armor.
message on Discord.
Someone message on
I don't know
Discord.
who.
Also gave me here.
Oh, it's in
I
that-
guess I'll-
it's
Is it
in
the
bird-
bird?
is it
it's
bird
hard to
brain?
come up.
Is it bird
Oh,
brain?
yeah,
Where's our
that's a little
bird
too
brain
much.
at? Great.
Oh no, it was ogre.
Oh,
Apparently,
no,
Gunter's
it's bird brain.
apparently Gunter's taking
it's
up
bird
everybody's time.
Over here.
Yeah. Oh, check this out. I've been getting good.
And now there's a troll
Now
apparently.
there's a troll. Oh
No,
my
no,
gosh.
we're done. No.
I know.
Come on.
Oh, okay, I love the fairy. I know that. I'm in
Is
love
that
with
I'm not. Stop wasting our time.
Oh, no.
We're streaming, by the way.
I know.
Yeah,
Stop wasting our
where?
time. We have precious little of it.
So, by the way, we're waiting for. When I say bird brain, we're waiting for Zircron, our
Well, he's in the hub, so I'm sending him an
At this
invite.
point, it's Zircon. It's Zircon.
How to use
Streamers must know him as
Now
Zircon.
Decidius isn't online. And I don't know who he
Zircron?
is.
They must know him as Zircron or
Hunter's taking a
Zircon?
long time. Great, now a troll
Corn.
is wasting his
Corn.
time.
It's
Oh, boy.
Zircorn.
Zircon on the cob.
Zircorn on the cob.
That's what he gets now.
Swift corn on the cob.
I've been having fun with these.
Where's the equal sign, Steam? Where's the equal sign? It's not here.
I know, Steam keyboard. I want like a freaking keyboard, by the way, too, where I can just go do
Oh, that'd be so nice.
instead of having to go
Dude, that's
click,
that actually worked really well.
click,
Well, the
click,
keyboard in here
click,
sucks.
click. I want to go beep
How do you
beep
get
beep
the mouse to
beep
go the
beep
right
beep
direction?
beep beep.
What I did
Beep,
was
bitty, bitty,
That would
bitty,
be
bitty,
nice.
bitty, bitty,
That would be
bitty,
so nice.
bitty, bitty,
The one thing I
bitty,
like
bitty,
about
bitty,
Rec Room
bitty.
is their keyboard is just like that.
Yes.
The thing I don't
I
like
made a
about
key-
Rec Room is that it's like 90% 12-year-olds.
It's not. I've heard, and I've been. It's not that horrible. And they started banning youngins.
Yeah, it's all right when you play with. It's all right when you're playing a private game with friends. It's great, actually. It's pretty good then. But
There's our
public zones.
utter British fellow.
Hey, he is.
If Zircon doesn't take the massive invites I'm going to send him, we're just starting without him.
how many invites are you sending him, or are you just not counting?
All of them.
Oh God!
How about we just mount the bird on a real spit?
You might like that.
Actually, no. We'll just successfully tie him up.
Ogre.
I just
Can we
sent him a
all
bunch
just
of
start
links.
calling him that?
Whack.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can call him
How is Steam VR not working?
I'm
It's
used
still here.
Zer Swift Corn.
Scream. No, advanced settings.
Yeah, it's just a dynamic bone. All the tail segments are connected.
What about it's not working?
Swear I'm gonna fucking scream.
Wait, the
This is
advanced settings are
making
giving
me
you
so
issues?
angry.
Right now? Yep. This is the thing.
No, advanced
Grab
settings
playing
isn't
more.
here anymore. It's like not letting me fucking use it. I'm gonna scream. I'm
Just something up with
literally
your
going
config,
to
'cause-
shit. I'm so angry.
Oh,
the
damn,
only
the
person
dynamic
I've ever
bone collider.
encountered who
Oh,
has
yeah, come here.
this
I didn't
degree of
realize that they.
Sidious is having a bad
Like, I'm on
day.
you now.
Play with the hair. Play with the other fun things.
Yeah, guys, drama. I can see the views
like, got
spreading up
updated,
right
'cause
now.
Before that was the only problem. Was the IK wasn't following.
Yeah.
Like where the hands were.
And this is all just, this is one script, one dynamic, or, well, this is, the whole thing is 2 dynamic bone scripts. But you get people who are doing like 50 of them.
Pinky.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Does
why?
Koro's face like remind you of
Because it's
Sarah?
Sarah. It does a little bit.
Oh God, it kind of does.
I keep thinking
I
that
wanna
it's
kiss it.
that one girl from The Witcher.
It is.
It is. It's Triss, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Modified, but yeah.
I see. It looked like a
Crispix.
fuse model almost.
Wait.
So much love.
Can't we just tell Zircon to like hurry the fuck up because we've been planning this for all
We
week?
did. Yeah, really. I mean, come on. You can't just let something that, last minute.
But
That's not fair to
go
us.
rehearse for the dumpster fire.
It's a shame I can't send him invites because I'd flood him with a bunch of invites as well.
You
Yeah.
can't. Oh no, you can't.
I'm saying it's a shame
This
that I
is
can't,
private,
otherwise
private.
I would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to be. Otherwise, everyone in VrChat would end up here. It's happened twice.
With the friends only or friends.
Oh yeah, everyone's a friend of everyone.
Right, because it becomes friends of
I
friends.
don't accept friend invites from every fucking new
I
person.
try
out
not
there.
to, but I do.
Same.
If,
I
if
do
they
if I
talk to me,
talk
if
to
they
them.
don't talk to me, I don't accept it. If they
Yeah,
And
same.
it's
interact
gotta be
with me
more than,
and it's
"Ha,
Text
that's
message is
funny,
delicious.
and then like, hi, how you doing? You're eating Chex Mix?
Yes, I
I
am.
had grilled cheese sandwiches.
yeah, apparently in D&D, Tyler, basically robots are canon.
Why is he
Oh,
in
okay.
the hub if he's doing...
That's not his worst character. He's learning Blender to do from scratch modeling.
Why is Zircon in the
nice.
hub if he's doing
Thank
the open mic
I
thing?
don't know.
I don't know. I don't speak
Wonders-
We're
bird.
starting with... You know what? Forget it. We're
Yeah.
starting without him.
I'm excited to see what you're gonna pump out.
Well, we gotta wait for Decidius to come back.
Thunder escapes
He's
me.
coming in. I sent him an invite.
I had your otter like all hooked up, or all like standing and had the
Deciduous, do you
entirely
need a
modeled
hug?
out, and then ZBrush crashed.
Already.
Like, it was gonna send me
I
back to
need
the
a
car, so
hug.
I was like,
I need a fucking hug.
Let's all hug Deciduous.
I love you,
I didn't need it for
Deciduous.
tonight.
need
I
hugs.
need it like for the future, for like next week or
It's
something.
sort
love
of
you.
Victorian group hug
I'm just
therapy
gonna
thing.
kind of tickle you,
Yeah.
paint a little bit, just a little
Yeah.
tickle on the thing.
It's
so
so
soft. Oh, that is soft right there.
yeah.
Oh
Okay,
man.
I'm backing out of
How do
this
you get
one.
it so soft? Mine's not that
automatic to
soft.
rig most of it.
Pinky.
Like working fingers.
Mine's hard and bristled. Sweet! Holy shit!
Ruby's coming!
Blink an eye and stick
We're
out your
getting our
tongue.
driftwood.
Yeah, I sent invites.
Driftwood's coming!
Sent invites.
We're getting our driftwood back! We're getting our
didn't they
NPC
add a thing
driftwood!
so you can like add your own
NPC
emotes and
driftwood's
stuff?
gonna be here!
Yeah.
Custom over.
That's what it says.
NPC driftwood is gonna
So it just
actually be a
overrides
player
it.
character.
You can't add new ones entirely.
So fucking excited!
Oh shit. Now
Yeah, you got a
Zircon's
lot
not
of
even
little
on.
tricks to play with, and once scripting comes in, you're gonna have a fucking playground.
Let's do this. I'm sat on my computer right now because I don't
No,
like
are the,
hey,
are the
hey,
animations
hey,
overrides,
For
or
some
can I add
reason,
my own?
it's
What's up?
shitting itself.
How's it
So,
going?
Oh, shit. You can add your
How
own.
did you do
I
that?
need to
You
put
did
this
it
forward
so
as the
smoothly.
next like thing because I know I'm not the only Rift user who has this problem.
Yes, you're
The
not.
only one I've encountered who has it this severe then.
Yes.
So you're clicking it when you
Are you making sure you leave VrChat selected as your active window after finishing whatever you're doing?
By adding all the parts to the main model, and then you turn them off.
Guessing that's a no. No.
Does Windows do that?
Yeah.
I almost
does.
never do that.
With
It
the
doesn't
rift.
affect me. Oh, with the rift.
Not on the Vive.
We're 20 minutes late because of this fucking Zircon.
Hey guys, we're
Stop it
streaming!
now.
Be careful what you say!
Everyone get fuck cunt.
I don't know, no. I
Everyone.
don't mind the cursing. I mean, like, the people. The people watch.
You can sit down
Zircon's a
Zircon's
big
chat for
willy.
now.
Zircon's gonna
Everyone
watch
sit
this
down, we're
later.
starting now.
Okay.
Yeah.
My
Zircon.
card is right here.
Oh, and
Zircon, I'm
the
sorry
models
but I'm
move around in the
irritable, so we're
chain.
starting now.
That's okay.
Oh, did I?
Hey, Clam. You need
Oh,
to
they
angry
changed the
with
model
them,
so when I'm sitting down, like I actually move around and stuff. Like it looks a lot more realistic.
Ruby's
I'm
so
so angry, I'm gonna eat a bit of this cake I have.
Oh, I'm
You
getting
should
40
eat some
frames as
cake,
well now.
add some
Or
ice
45
cream,
frames.
Yeah.
and you should also grab some Rice
I'm having
Krispie
cake on
treats because
Saturday.
Rice Krispie
Okay.
treats are good.
I have stuffed some cake in my mouth, I'm feeling better now.
Idiots.
Okay. Roll 20.
I'm already in
Already
it.
there.
Start our music, boy, for the stream. Gotta do it for the stream.
Oh yeah, you won't have that, but we're on roll 20, so we're getting like music as he updates it live.
The stream will
Oh,
have
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Is he on Discord? Because I can just add him to the VR
Oh
and D.
yeah, he's in the. Oh, I think you're in the VR chat. Just looking for Odam.
Well, do you want to add him? Invite should be open, so.
Wait for what? Discord? Or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Invite
guys
to
like to see
the
my
to our D&D
character
thing.
sheet?
Just send him a link to the roll. Just send him a link to the
Yeah.
roll 20 immediately.
Chaotic good.
Yeah, open your
Personality takes
Discord so I can
Odin
send you the link.
Yes.
I'm trying to
for
find
the
Oh
ideas.
Dame.
Shit for the butterflies, rainbows, by cattle with the thing. Doesn't think before speaking. I forgot about that flaw.
Okay.
I'm still signing
Also,
into
this is the
Discord.
How do I
wrong
invite?
music. This is the bad day music.
Is there music? I don't hear it.
I'll just copy and
Are you
paste
logged
the one
into
from our
Roll20?
Discord.
I am. Are you guys hearing it? If you guys are hearing it, then
Yes,
Mhm.
I hear pianos. It sounds beautiful.
okay. Let me
Perfect.
check my-
I will wait for you to check your thing, and I will start it again, and we can start.
All right, Tyler, I sent you the thing.
Oh,
Just
these
make
are
an
nice
account
dice.
there.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
sent you the Discord
We got,
link,
like,
Tyler. Just
smudges on
just
them and
accept
stuff.
that, or just go to that link, make an account, join in the chat, and you'll get music
Alright.
updates. Holy shit, his music
It's not
selection
music.
really adds to it, dude.
Music.
Yeah, I stopped it because I was waiting for Goose to sort himself out.
Wait, you stop? No, keep it playing so I can tell if it's working or not.
I
Oh,
don't know. It's, why is it so
Start without him
impossible
as
to
well.
get everyone to just stay here?
I've already said I don't give a shit. I'm just going to go for however long we want and just deal with it tomorrow.
Alright.
Future
You know
me
what?
can be the
He's
one
not
who's
even
upset.
online. I don't.
Where'd
What are they
Galleon go?
doing?
Wait.
I don't
I
know.
can
He's
hear
not
it.
even online.
What the fuck?
Gallium shit himself and died. Alright.
Okay, so he's just gonna walk aimlessly with us and do nothing wrong, apparently. Just like the dumb bird.
They don't even say anything in the Discord. Like, what the heck? Hold on. VrChat's being super crashy, and I was just gonna reboot and see if that helps at all. Angry face.
Okay, yeah.
Start without me. Just need to do some whoring until I return.
That's what Zircon
We're
says.
in a vault, Zircon. We're in a vault.
He just starts whoring all over the gold.
No,
Just
yeah,
rest up
even
the thing, just
selecting it
feathers
as the
off,
main
that'll shut
window
him up.
doesn't make it fucking right.
Ruby's been like at 84% for like 5 hours. Loading into this room.
Right, there we go.
I'm just gonna have to lift my headset each time I want to do the
music and that.
So you don't have OVR drop?
What am I supposed to be doing in this
Oh man.
Roll20 thing?
Just listen to
the music, essentially.
Just music. Oh, welcome back, Gallium.
Finally, get in here.
We're good.
Yeah, chat's
Okay.
crashing like a fucking slot. Oh my god.
Oh my what? Oh,
hey,
it's
Driftwood.
no, it's Driftwood.
Although I bet you Driftwood's less ornate.
What's that?
Driftwood.
Their interpretation
The
of my
only- the
sidekick
only-
Driftwood.
The only difference is Driftwood is colourful.
Yeah.
But then again, you can
Yeah,
go
I
colour,
bought
so
basically
there's
I bought a
nothing
little
to say about
dragon
colours.
from a guy who
I
was
went
high
with
off
like
his
an
ass and an exotic
older,
pen dealer.
Driftwood.
It turns out he is a mute dragonling that only talks with a little blackboard and can secrete
Driftwood is
various
cool.
useful fluids. Driftwood's a beast.
Alright, shall we start?
Yeah,
Yes.
fuck Zircon.
Oh, that's
So,
name of your dragon.
so, previously, you guys had made your way to Seymour Cern through the magic door, and after procuring a horse and cart, you made your way to the capital of Seymour Cern, Hearthwaite, where you went to the King's Reserve Bank, the current largest source of gold in the world, where many major countries store their gold. You have made your way down an elaborate elevator system into the main vault. Huge seas of gold rest beneath you as walls of platinum, silver, copper, gold, and diamonds are being sorted piece by piece by individual men that walk back and forth. You see what look like small impish creatures that seem to be made of gold, fluttering from some balconies here and there, carrying small crates. The impish creatures are only like maybe at most 4 foot, but that's like with the wingspan. Tiny, tiny things as they trudge along carrying the weighted cases of gold. The younger man that was leading you heads further in across the walkways either side of this giant river of gold beneath you. And as you follow him further and further along these walkways, you reach the midsection of the almost cross-like giant room, the vaulted ceilings reaching maybe 130 feet up, while downwards it's about another 100-odd feet until the gold. You can see the gold eternally shifting and moving as he brings you to a platform overhanging between 2 of the walkways. And on there you can see it's almost like a diest hub of this whole chamber. You can see there's impish creatures flapping to it, picking up what looks like small metal slates with orders on, putting it on a chain around their neck, and then fluttering off to continue sorting gold and diamonds and jewels. The people walking back and forth take some of the more elaborate orders, and you can see them begin counting out stacks of gold before moving them and placing them into the systems of tubes that run along, depositing the gold from the river and up again. Shall we start the conversion then? He says, looking between you all.
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Let's go for this.
Sounds good.
I'm just sitting in the office looking at
I'm actually
highlights,
basically
and I
holding
just
a
put it
magazine
down. I'm
upside
just
He's
down.
reading
like,
highlights in the
Literacy.
office.
I'm just like, I can't
What
read.
did you say?
Characters illiterate because intelligence stats are too low.
Jack is still upstairs in the lobby area where we came in, and he's reading the
Yes.
highlights.
He's looking at highlights.
It's all
He's not
pictures.
reading.
It's all pictures.
It's
There's
a-
no words.
I also realised I can wear this now, so I'll have
It's
my
all
full range of
pieces,
hand
okay.
movements. Okay. So, the guards who are carrying the crate for you set it down, and you can see two of the other figures that have those same chain link, those chains around their chest with the different keys on. You can see two of them walk over, and he just quickly says something to them in a language probably most of you aren't familiar. It is feeling the language.
Nope.
Does it
So
sound like
he says it
Welsh?
to them, and you can see the figures under the robes are feeling themselves cat-like people. And they nod, and they begin taking the bullion and placing it onto like a large scale, and begin weighing out the cost of it. And you can see them moving little like dials back and forth, and they go, "Ah, yes, this will be about 2,400 gold."
Works for us.
Yeah, this is
Take it on
good.
platinum, please.
We can make it in platinum, yes. We will be but a moment. And they, give a little bow to you, and they begin taking the large sets of, like the large bullion pieces. And you see them walk over to the river's edge, and you see them pull out what looks like a small abacus, make some jots down, before they cast some sort of spell, and you watch the bullion just disintegrate into coins of gold as they all shower down into the river.
That's awesome.
It looks like a very specialized skill that they have made specifically for this job. It's something to do. It's like obviously a transmutation spell of some sort, but it looks so refined specifically for this task.
The dwarf
Minting
coin makers
is-
out of business what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You see them do this back and forth. They are replicating the design currently used by the Seymour Cern Bank. So, yeah. They still need the designs. But you see them slowly taking this and doing this with all the bullion. As the younger one jots down some orders using the similar thing that you guys got those lanyard-style necklaces from. He is using the little pieces that have the letters on to make a press, and presses it down with an order for 240 platinum pieces. And you see him lift his hand and lift one of his hand, and the other just goes, and one of the small impish creatures just takes it out of his hand and is off. And you watch it fly up into the air, and you see it land on one of the cages, and it's scampering about, crawling on its sides, and all this as it plucks out one platinum piece, 2, 3, 4, and it just starts doing this, collecting them into a small bag as it's doing this, and then flies down, lands on the table on all fours, pulls the bag and just puts it down on the thing and you can see it is literally made of gold, this imp creature. Like solid gold, but mobile.
Awesome.
And the figure then, the young man picks up the bag and goes, who would like to take it? of course. And he hands the bag to you. You now
Sure you
have
count that out first.
240 platinum pieces. Perception check if you want to actually like count it out properly.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up.
14.
All right,
I don't
so
know why it just-
you count it out, and yeah, it is
sorry.
about
15.
15. Yeah, it is about 240 platinum pieces, as well as what appears to be a small scroll. And opening it up, it is a receipt of transaction.
Oh, nice. Put it in the
It's
bag.
like it was tied to the bag, you know, like by the string. So it's like a literal transaction saying the Royal Bank of the Seymour Cern High Lord hereby declares that this transaction was made with lawful regard within the city of Harthwaite in the country of Seymour Cern. The transaction is from 12 bullion gold equal to 2,400 gold transacted into 240 platinum pieces. Recipients are, and it lists all your names. Trading member is, and it says Harmond Theodore, which you're guessing is the young man's name. And then it says overseen by High Chaplain Dorigal.
How big is
So you now
this
have
satchel? How big is this coin purse?
satchel would be about like that big.
And packed solid then, correct?
Yeah, it's just packed full of the platinum pieces.
Alright.
Like a sock full of nickels my mom used to beat me with.
Okay.
Oh, you could bludgeon somebody to death with that money.
Yeah, that's some heavy stuff. That's platinum.
Let's hope we don't actually have to bludgeon anyone to death with it.
We're probably going to
Although I'm
have
not
to bludgeon
saying-
someone to death with it.
So unless you have any
Furthered
further
someone?
transactions, I can guide you out.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think,
That'd be
yeah, I
awesome.
think we're done.
Of course. And he, leads you out. The guards now seem to be a lot calmer about this as they follow behind you all. And you head to the elevator, and it's another short distance. The sound of the chains and mechanisms clacking and whirring as you move up back to that lobby, where you see your friends sat there with a magazine upside down.
Dak, what are you doing?
I don't know.
I figured.
You wanted to feel like everyone else, didn't you?
Yes.
I wouldn't worry about it. I think we're done here anyway.
Yeah.
Unless there's any more
Go
pretty
back to the
pictures in
wagon.
that you'd like to look at.
All done.
Then I'm glad to have been of service. Thank you very much for using our bank system.
Thank you too. Very convenient, I must say.
Every day.
I don't know. We had to travel across, across the entire world.
Oh, I'm
well-
terribly sorry about that. In future, and you see him just stop a minute and he walks to the small desk that was to one side, and you see him pull out a parchment sheet and he begins writing on it. And you watch him write out a full note. It takes him about like minute and a half. Scrolls it up, presses it with a royal seal. You see it's like, gold wax. Waits it for it to dry a second, blows it a little just to make sure it dries quicker, and just holds it out for somebody to take.
Ooh,
Go ahead.
pretty.
Galleon just shit
I'm
the
taking
bed.
that.
Give it to Calyx.
What is this?
What was that?
That for future reference, it's basically if you take that to any local post office, they can send it to us, and that will be a declaration of authenticity for the transfer, and we can do it in a much more timely manner through mail.
Works for me.
Keeps us safe. The post office can take the insurance cut on that one. head out back to the
Thank you.
carriage.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your manners.
You're welcome.
So you
Back to
guys
the carriage.
step on out to the carriage. The guard that was stood there with it gives you a little nod as you walk up, and he starts stepping away as you guys exit through the gates. As you are walking out, though, you would notice there is now a crowd of what looks like peasantry, all lining up through the rose garden. And you can see at the far end of this large line is a very ornate, regal figure. If you would like to make a history check, you can.
I'll do it. Sure.
But this ornate, regal figure seems to be handing out basically like packets of food.
What do I got over there? I can't see it.
15.
15 plus nothing, so yeah, 15.
So you two
Actually,
would know that this is the current king handing out packets of food to the peasantry.
apparently I've got good history skills, man.
Are you supposed to say he hasn't got shit all over him?
It's not just that; it's the fact that this is
He's wearing a crown.
this
Haha, get
this
that
king
reference.
is currently known as the king of the people. Hello, they've just finished the bank stuff.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
To the bird, man.
That
Also,
shouldn't
Galleon
have
took a
taken as long as it
shit
should have.
Essentially,
Oh, yes,
he is called
you
the
Just requested
usurper
an
king.
invite.
Okay.
He is the usurper king, but he's also known as the king of the people. He is a man who killed the previous king and took his position, and since then has declared that he is going to uplift the peasantry at the cost of the rich. You know, to make everyone of equal standing.
Sounds like
He's trying to.
Calm down.
He's
Stalin.
trying to make a utopia for Seymour Cern, for the peasantry who are currently living in absolute squalor. Because he was a member of the Order of Purity, and he remembers seeing his mother in tears because she had to let him go to the Order just to have the necessities to survive. So he ended up becoming royal guard and ended up usurping the king to become king. And now he
How
is
long ago
trying
was
to
that?
uplift the poor. This was about 30 years ago.
Oh, so
I
he's
was just a
old
little
now.
baby.
He was just 20s, so he's now getting a bit on, but it's caused a lot of political upset, but at the same time he is the most beloved king Seymour Cern has ever had.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, but can you just okay, so we finished the bank stuff. Where exactly are
Got
we
out there
now?
that you're fucking up.
We're in the
We're just heading out of the bank.
we haven't got back on the carriage yet.
Yeah, we just
yeah,
now
you guys
headed
are
out of
just
the bank.
walking to the carriage. You just passed a figure as you were heading to the car.
Is my microphone okay? Sorry,
Yep.
just
Yeah.
Also, your full body's freaking
literally
out,
just-
Zircon.
I know, I'm
You
taking off my
don't
body
sound
trackers.
so smooth, but you're hearable. We can hear you.
okay. Yeah, VRChat's just been crashing so much. It's like fuck it,
Oh,
try
weird.
desktop mode, see if that's any better. But yeah,
Shame.
did I miss anything?
No,
Nope.
not really.
We just got out of the
it
bank.
was
Okay.
uneventful. We did not
Yeah.
die or anything inside the bank. It was beautiful.
Nobody got raped.
So
Feet in the
you
floor.
guys get your way back to the car, and the guards allow you through the gates, which are currently open, allowing the poor folk through to be basically given rations, like larger food packets with more than they would get from a local resource. So you guys hop onto the car, and I guess you guys are now heading out.
So we stop at
Yeah,
the
let's
city
get out
just
of here.
before this one. We still gotta
Yeah,
stop.
let's
at
head
the
back to
symbol.
Newlands.
Can I give some food to the poor?
What do you want to do?
You can give your personal food to the poor all you want.
We pass some poor people, so can I give some poor people food?
Yeah, sure.
Rub
Are
your
you
feathers
just
on
going
them,
to stop
too, if you want.
anyone?
Tell them you're healing them.
Are you going to stop anyone, or are you gonna try grab some specific poor people?
Tell them it's medicine.
Just gonna start whipping loads of the homeless children.
No, I'm just gonna stop the first person I see and just
Okay.
Give them the food that I didn't eat.
Okay, so you grab
your
appears to be like
breakfast
an aging tiefling man. Looks like maybe an ex-slave. You know, like thick markings around the throat where a collar would have been, and such like that. Long grey tattery hair around the back. Simple like rags. And you stop him and you hand him your like leftover rations, and he's just like, "Thank you so much, thank you."
Breakfast danishes. All those breakfast danishes that we didn't eat.
What is a tiefling? You might give me a quick description on that? I'm sorry.
Tieflings are people who fled from the Nine Hells. They are demons.
Oh, okay.
Or part demon.
Yeah.
You know, like long horns, red skin, spade tail, you know, that sort of deal.
Okay.
Right.
They usually
And I
put down upon.
So if I say don't mention it, and I take to the skies.
And you can see a lot of the peasantry just like, ooh, as you just up into the air. As you do that, you notice some of the balusters that, you know, dot here, there, and everywhere lock on you as you are flying.
What? I thought we had passage.
Yeah, but it's not it's restricted airspace.
Come on down, bird boy.
Can I at least... Can I glide? Is there an acceptable gliding altitude?
It was as soon as you got as high as the wall, that's when they pointed at you.
I will... How tall is the wall?
The wall is about 250 feet high.
I will fly at 200 feet in the air then.
200 feet. You can see they're still keeping an eye on you. They, you know, because of the initial flight up. They're now a little wary. But they are giving you some breathing room.
I appreciate
You can tell they don't usually get people who can fly in the city, so seeing somebody spontaneously fly up into the air is kind of a little bit spooky to them, so...
It's a little unnerving.
Yeah.
A
rockrit are an incredibly rare species, remember, so...
Right. Yes.
I hop into the cart and you start heading down from the main castle district down into the main district with all the shopping centres and the stores and blacksmiths and traders and hubs.
Hold on. We need to stop. We need to stop by a blacksmith. We need to get an adamantium slab for that mirror and some mounting brackets. Or adamite.
Adamite. How much is adamite?
Adamantine?
Don't know. We're gonna get an estimate.
Adamant is from RuneScape. It's a tier 40 metal.
It's a fantasy. Adamantite's also in Warcraft. It's just
adamantine.
Kind of a
yeah, but we're talking about adamantine, I believe. Are we really getting into the specifics of fancy?
Yeah, it's
yes,
all over
the decisions.
Adamantine. So you're going to try and find a blacksmith?
We're going to try and find a blacksmith.
So why are we doing that?
Do you want to look into the void again?
So are you trying to, like, seal it for good?
Seal it for safety.
Seal it for long enough that it's not our problem anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that seems like a smart idea. I'm in favor for that. Whatever the hell was in there.
Just back it against the wall.
Nothing good.
I like Bruce's idea. Just stick it up against the wall and don't move it. Easy peasy.
Dude, that's
could use steel brackets for that.
So you guys head into the market district, and you give us an investigation as you're all. Give us an investigation as everyone. Anyone who wants to try look for the blacksmith as you know driving the cart down the streets.
How is 14?
14.
All right.
No,
investigation. I have.
My
I
investigation.
roll a natural here.
0.
At 10. Damn
Are
it.
you or are you too busy driving?
Is that your
I'm just gonna drive. Do you want to roll, Goose, or are you down with the? Just leave it up against the wall.
I bet you can sniff out metal.
Sorry about that.
I'm down with leaving
That was
it
me,
against
sorry.
the wall.
That was me.
Okay.
That was
Against
me.
the wall too.
When I throw
you
dice,
two-
it just uploads again every time.
You two find
D20
what
is
is
in your shoulder.
essentially
Like in your armpits. There we
you
go.
essentially find one of the largest blacksmiths in the city. It looks to be like a pretty famous one. It takes up a huge building, and you can see the huge building is large and rounded, but at the top goes up into a huge funnel, as a huge plume of smoke just coughs up from it constantly. And it is called the main anvil. And I take it you park the cart outside of it? It's like a big open
Tell me to
doorway.
stop, I'll park the cart.
We're gonna need.
Well, do you
Jack
want?
for
Okay,
this
hold
one.
on. Are we going for the slab, or are we just going to get brackets and mount it to the wall?
I vote slab. I don't want to fucking see the back of that mirror ever again.
Don't pull it away
I'm
from the
voting
wall.
slab
Easy
because it
enough.
seems
Walls
most practical.
crumble. Adamantine is strong. Just fucking seal
It's
that
heavy
thing.
too.
Hey, do you want to have a look
to
inside
come
the
off
back of the
the
mirror?
wall ever. There's no reason to turn it ever again.
Is this
No, that's
What if
true.
Bob
There is no
what if
reason.
Bob shakes it loose.
What if we
Not
Not
find
if it's
someone who
mounted
can
to the wall.
We'll have one less
What if we come
rock.
across someone who can actually get rid of it for us?
beautiful? Kudos, man.
I want to see that
Sorry, I
thing
got
fucking
distracted.
sealed, not mounted. Let's just get an estimate. Let's just
I
get
see
an
it a waste as a waste of
Let's get an
cash.
estimate.
We need instruments more than we need to have some fancy box on the back of a mirror that should never get pulled away from the wall again in the first place.
Humorous
To be
is
fair,
an
it
estimate.
did get moved.
Well, it's
It did
because
get
someone
moved.
wanted to move and check out behind it. He learned his lesson now, didn't he?
Are you gonna hurry up and move? Says one of the cards behind you.
Well, you're driving it. You
We're
decide.
having a moment.
Park or fuck off!
I open up
Come
the
over
back
here,
of the
fuck off in
car.
your mouth.
I open up
Classic
the back of
British
the
road
car
rage right
because I
now.
assume it's kind of like a traditional like carriage or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
it's like
it's a
Western
covered
style
wagon. Okay,
thing.
okay.
Top out of the
I
top,
open
yeah.
up the back. Just look at the car. Who said to fuck off?
You can see another Warforged, like a thing. It looks like building supplies taking up the back, and he just looks back at you.
I said building this spot. Fucking bitch.
You know what? Well, we don't. I don't think we have time. Let's just go. We can get steel brackets at home.
Yep. All right, we move on.
Okay.
We gotta stop at
Wait,
the
we
iron
want to
symbol in
stop at
next
the
town.
iron symbol to get the frickin'
next
instruments.
town
So you guys,
Oh,
you
next
guys
town.
are heading
Newham.
back to Newham.
Yep. How much fun is this one going to be?
Oh no.
No.
Well, he rolled a 3. If he's rolling a 3 on how bad he's going to fuck us, that means he's not
You
gonna
guys-
fuck us very good.
During the travel, find nothing of any importance as you make your way there
I was
without
like, the
trouble.
music hasn't changed.
Every time.
He does.
Oh my god, I need
Hold on.
I need
rolling
I need to get
Look
roll
at your
20 up.
hands
I mean,
and fingers.
idiots.
That just rings.
You easily make your way to Newham in about 3.5 hours.
All right, so it's still early morning. Or, well, before
Yeah,
noon.
it's like halfway through the morning. It's like pushing toward lunch. No, the sun is like about there in the sky.
Alright, Pink, just follow my lead and I'll get us over to the iron symbol.
All right, well, tell me where to go.
Alright, and I give him
We're
the
heading to the iron symbol. He's giving me directions.
So you
We're
guys,
going to the
you
iron
guys have
symbol.
to stop at the gates because this city doesn't have the roadways for cars in the city.
Oh, okay.
Can I?
So you
can I
guys are
let-
able. Oh, sorry.
Will I be able to sell my lyre? Because I don't think that's going to be very helpful in a heavy metal band.
Oh, it's a heavy
Well,
metal.
you want to try.
It's a heavy metal lyre.
Can I get an
guys
even
park
more
up.
heavy metal lyre?
We're gonna find out when
You
we
guys
get
park
Adamantine.
up.
What's a heavy metal?
You guys park up and head on in to Newham, heading specifically for the iron symbol. And you make your way in there, and there is the sort of, halfling bard man there again. And he gives you a wave as you walk in.
Hey, Mark.
Kirby
Told you to bring
communism.
'em.
That you did, my friend. Come on in.
And we're still talking 15 gold on that pan flute, right, buddy?
Sure does. And he holds it up.
Alright, I'll take that.
Takes the 15
I'm
gold,
looking-
hands you the flute.
I am looking for a runic guitar.
Wow, runic guitar, that's a big spend. Are you sure you have the money for that?
Why do you worry about having the product, and I'll worry about how to pay for it?
Please follow me, he says, and motions up to a second, overhanging floor. It's like the main floor, and the other floor is like that, and there's a stairway going from there down. So he goes up the stairs, and as you crest up the top of the step into, this second floor, you see walls of runic guitars, runic basses, you see drum sets, you see pretty much the wet dream of a musician right there.
Wow.
You can see so many different designs, each one carved in different types of woods and metals, and some of them even look like they've been made from rock of sorts. Each have their own distinct runic carving around, the base of the guitar that, gives it that magic amplification. So it's like each rune is the little make, the little branding to tell you what kind of guitar it is. It's the Gibson Les Paul sort of brand to it.
All right. Well, I'm looking.
So our
for a
cheapest runic
V-shape.
guitar, ranges about 300 gold. With the most expensive one, he says, walking down the line before he reaches one mounted at the far end on the wall, in a really ornate cabinet. You see this blood red one with slightly speckled reflective surface, knobs on the side that look like they are made from rough cut diamond. The neck is white marble with looks like, you can't really tell, but it's like black metal frets. And this one costs about 3,000 gold.
Oh, you're not dipping into our cut for that thing, Pinky.
I got this. You're
not dipping
What I'm looking for is one that's shaped in a V shape, like a flying V.
Oh, we've got some of those. He says, walking around the middle, and he points to the lower shelf, and you can see about 8 flying V style guitars.
All right. And I'm looking for one that is white and black that spirals out from the center.
We've got some white and black ones, and he pulls 2 out, and one is white and black. You can see the one on the left he carries is one that has a skull motif etched into the wood.
All right.
So it looks like stacked skulls all the way across the face of it. And the one on the right is white and black, but it's a really simplistic but really nice speckled black with white edging.
How much is the skull one?
The skull one is about 500 gold.
All right. We'll keep that one in mind.
Okay.
Now I'd like to look for instruments for the rest of my trusty band.
Got any spoons?
Well, I can certainly cut you a deal if we are talking about buying instruments for a full band, my friend.
That's what I'd like to check out.
And he places
my
face
spoon man
out
here.
against them.
You can't get more heavy metal than tungsten.
Spoons.
Literally, tungsten is
Have
the
you
densest
tried
metal
a
on the
cutlery
periodic table.
store?
Not just any spoons. You have any that are runic?
Runic spoons?
Yeah,
I don't even think they make those.
they make those.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
Are we at GameStop? We're at GameStop. That's where we're at. It doesn't exist.
They have Battletoads.
We don't have it. You don't exist. I'm
You're
sorry,
talking
man.
to someone from...
Do you have something that someone who's familiar with spoons can play?
I do have something. And he walks out of a back door into obviously a back room. And it's like
spoons.
a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and he comes back out, and you see him come back out with what looks essentially like metal chopsticks, but they get fatter toward the end in almost like spatula-esque sort of way.
Can I request a music change to the D20?
Oh yeah, sure.
Just liven things up.
Something a bit.
Sorry.
Something a bit more. Something a bit more
Be the
pumping.
most badass band of all time.
I think we need tier 3 dumb music for this one.
Wait, no. Since we're shopping, do you have any elevator music?
Just let me know if you need it.
Oh yeah, we got plenty.
Yes. Yes.
And you can
It's
see him
like the
hold it
genre
up, and he
equivalent.
says, "This is an instrument from Golden. You ever heard of that place?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, try them out. They're essentially like spoons."
Right, I'm gonna try doing my usual spoons routine performance.
Yeah, performance check.
What do you do with spoons?
+4, 15. Yeah, that's my skill.
Yeah, pretty good. They have a slightly different turn to it. It's like a sort of like ting 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 ting, like swords clashing almost.
Ooh, that's gonna be awesome.
I like these. How much?
Oh well, I can give you that for about maybe like 25 silver.
Take it.
All right.
The cheapest fucking instrument ever, man. He probably went to the kitchen and got him off the shelf for where his wife would cook the food. He was like, "Yeah, these things are instruments."
Wait,
Those instruments are actually roughly translated. They're called clashes, and they're used in Golden sort of plays and music about war and fighting. So that's why they have that almost sword-like clashing noise.
Do they have sharp edges?
Yeah, you could cut someone with them.
Oh, I was gonna say I might be able to combine that with a bass guitar. Create some cool sounds with that.
I want a new
Secondly, I
drum
thought
set.
you were thinking how to kill someone with them.
Well, you've got a few drum sets.
Or I could just.
But you're not. You promised to throw at the damn door.
We have
Let's find some.
three drum sets. We have three drum sets currently in.
promise.
We have a ruby red one, we have one made of metal, and we have one that looks really nice. It's sort of like the white guitar. It's got that sort of speckled look to it. You know, with like the shiny bits. Yeah.
Which ones
And he
can take
walks
the most
you,
abuse?
Yeah,
away
he's,
from the
he's
guitars
different.
to the. Well, I can see, he says, giving him a little clunk on the shoulder, like a little friendly dunk dunk. This one here, he points to the metal one, which is a little larger than the others, with a lot more drums, almost like in a half moon circle. This one here was one that was given to us by another Warforged drummer, like your friend. It's a little used, but it still is kicking.
Give it a try there, buddy.
Stick.
There you go.
Stick.
There's your sticks.
God, I need some more like sort of
16.
16.
What's
plus-
my performance?
Ooh.
2, 18.
Oh, hell yes.
I can't reach it.
One needs to practice.
All right, so what did you get?
18.
Got an 18 total.
Oh, God, stupid piece of shit! I'm not putting Hailstorm.
What's Tommy Lee? Yeah, Tommy Lee style drum solo. That's what we gotta have.
Fucking hell. Sorry, I'm just trying to find some music that isn't shit for this situation. Well, that'll do. Whatever. So, what did you get?
18.
18.
Sort of like thick, heavy, bassy drums. This, and there is a large selection all the way around. So it's like. God, I keep moving out of the chair.
I have to lock you in that chair.
Yes. Because I have my thumb resting. I have my thumb resting on the stick, so I should rest it on the button.
I can do that and just make a little eject button for you.
Hear me out. How door resistant are these drum sets?
Well, he grabs what essentially looks like a metal cutout of a guitar. He just grabs that. Actually, strength roll. On the side of one of the big heavy bass kicks at the bottom. Not even a dent. He's almost bent through the cutout of this metal guitar.
All right, now
And
you
just
actually sold me on
clunk,
that.
clunk, clunk.
It's a long story.
Included in this game deck.
How much is the drum set for my friend here?
The drum set, I will cut you a deal. I will lower it to around, let's say, 185 gold.
All right.
Keeping on track of all this, Pinky?
No, I can't remember what he said the car was going to cost. I think he said 5.
He said
for the
5,
car, right?
but he's cutting you a deal.
500.
He didn't mention the deal.
500, 180. That's 680.
He hasn't told you what they cut down for the guitar would be.
Oh, okay.
How generous of you.
He'll cut it down. He'll cut the guitar to around 280.
Oh, fucking shit. What about Gallium? He's got to have some type of an instrument.
I thought I was singing, but I can have an
You're just
instrument as
singing?
well, I guess. I can be terrible. I can try an instrument, it'll be bad.
Fuck yes.
Do you have any runic objects that could... Do you have any runic objects that could amplify his voice in any way?
We do have some. We do have some amplification stones.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. One moment,
well?
and he quickly walks downstairs and comes back up with a large white, almost pearl-like object with a small rock embedded in the center that looks almost like an eye. Like a stylized eye. This is a amplification stone. What you do is you hold onto this for up to 5 seconds to get it warm, and then it's a case of just tapping on the eye twice. Taps it, and you watch the eye, the stylized eye, open and glow. The whole thing glows, and the whole pearl becomes no longer translucent, but just solid white. And this is what it sounds like. It's just this loud echo of this stern. It's almost ear-ringing.
Wow.
Ah, THQ.
L's to the X.
THX.
Do any of the other ones have
THQ is a game company.
I've heard of some people developing runic distorters, but I haven't seen any available to. That haven't been tailor-made for people yet.
That's cool. Well, how much are we looking at for that badass thing?
This? These aren't actually that hard to make. I made this one myself. This is only about, I'll say 80 gold. Cut down price for you.
Alright.
Does it come with a
And what
volume
about
control?
our bird friend over here?
Oh, that's easy.
Volume control.
You go like this, and he slides his finger like that along the orb, and you just listen to the voice as he puts it closer. So now it's like this, and it's loud, but it's nowhere near as loud as it was.
Oh, nice.
And then when you finish with it, you just double tap again, and that's it. And you watch the thing go clear, and that eye is closed again.
How long does
We need to make a mic
keeping it warm, warming it up with your hand, how long does that last for?
Depends on how cold the environment is, but it needs to be warm to start.
What my friend's asking is how long does it stay on?
That's
it's only for the activation. Does it need to be warm? It warms itself up after that.
Okay, cool.
It's just like getting it going.
First you got to get where you stick it in.
Hey,
right?
you're good at getting it going.
Yeah, you know what it is.
What about our friend?
Why do the dice vibrate when no one is touching them?
What do you? Oh, damn's touching them.
No, your dice are vibrating.
Are they?
Get
Oh no,
over it.
what instrument do you play? I don't remember. I still don't think I ever know.
I want like what is essentially
a deep bass lyre.
Yeah, deep bass rock heavy metal. Basically, if angels could play heavy metal, I want to sound like that.
I think I have some
symphonic metal.
You need to have some resonance.
He hands you the like the vocal enhancer, and he walks downstairs. And looking over the balcony, you can see him looking through some of the instruments, and he pulls out a lyre. But this one is like metal design, and it's a little more bell-bottom than usual. And it has like little holes designed through it to make it look like dragon scales almost. Here we go! And he walks back up. Here we go. Have a try of that.
Let me just there we go.
Roll performance.
Performance.
I haven't rolled performance to try the guitar yet, but I will do that shortly.
12 plus whatever his performance is.
14.
14. So you do get your sort of like like practice guitar, no amp sort of. And it's quite bassy. It has that metallic sort of like echo to the note, but it still has that distinct lyre sound.
Yeah, I'm looking for like a resonance lacking in dissonance sort of sound, but still has that
more natural.
Kick. Yes.
Right, okay. One moment. And he takes the metal one and he scarpers back downstairs and he goes back to the bit he was looking through. Pulls out a similar, more like larger bottomed one. But this one is wood and it has the design of doves in white wood mixed with dark birch. And he comes scooting back up again and he goes, try this one.
Okay.
Try that. Give that a go.
7.
He's noodling at this point. And it is a lot bassier and it does have a lot more like more harmonic to it.
Yeah, I think a good harmonics would go well with a dichotomy for the band. But do we have one that can change modes, on the fly? So one hand doing.
I don't stock any runic lyres. It's more of a specialized field at the moment. Everyone is so interested in the guitars and the bass. A lot of the instruments are getting left at the wayside.
How much better is a runic version of an instrument?
Well, they have amplification, and as I said to your friend earlier, people are currently designing matrices for the runic instruments that allow distortion effects.
Do you think it's worth looking for a specialized bender then for a runic lyre for the sake of band?
We can do that if you want.
Our performance is in a few days, so
yeah.
We don't have time.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the. I want to check out one more, like a range between the two I just played. Do you have something like that?
I might have one last one. One moment, and he.
Decals on it.
No
Preferably with
decals?
blood. Lots of blood.
I don't have anything like that. I'm sorry.
Oh, shame.
Know where we can get
That would
some?
match him so well.
I'm sure you could commission somebody to make you a Nomicide guitar. And he walks down the stairs and goes back to the...
I still don't know about that yet. Damn it.
Walks over to the, like, lyre section again, and you see him just sort of scratching his head as he's having a really hard time, like, pleasing this customer. Picks out the final lyre, comes back up, and this one is a more traditional looking one. You know, it's simplistic, plain. Try that one.
Don't worry, he's better at pleasing others than he is being pleased.
Not always with consent, though.
I think I will take the first one. The first one will fit the aesthetics of the band better. It's more hardcore.
Alright, so you're taking the first one.
Yes. How much would that be?
With the discount, 65 gold.
I hope you've been writing this down because I just finally opened up my notepad to write stuff down.
Okay, it's
275 for the guitar.
Yeah, and he said 180 for the
275
drums.
guitar.
All right.
180 for the drums.
All right.
It is. I remember those two, and I forgot
80,
what fucking
80 for the amplifier.
80.
80 for the.
80 for the amplifier, and his was 70 something, right? Okay, so 75. 75.
Why is this not taking information anymore? What? Oh, okay. 80, enter. 75, enter. So, is it possible we should probably get amplifiers for the spatula, death spatulas, and the lyre, and for the
hand flute,
skin flute that he likes to play too.
Hand flute. I don't know amplifier.
Right. Oh,
amplify those.
Right.
Because homie's fucking badass over here.
How are you usually set out on stage? I take it you do perform on stage?
Usually just in the pub.
Well, you might save by sharing the load. Instead of having to buy 3, you could maybe buy 2 of them, have one for the singer, and the other 2 just make sure the players without the runic instruments stay closer together. You'd save a lot of money that way.
All for saving money.
Do you 3 want to stay close together on stage?
No, I think about it as
he might try seducing me again.
Further down the line, we might want better instruments.
Oh, okay, then.
This could be
all right then.
At least 2 additional ones. At least 2 additional ones.
Okay, I'll get those for you.
Move around to different positions.
If you'll meet me by the counter, I'll take your money and we will truck this all up. I have some cases for each of the instruments, except for your clashes and your flute. I have a bag if you would like.
I'll take a bag.
I'll just carry them in a pouch. I want to test this guitar out ahead of time just to kind of see what happens.
Oh, of course. I'll give you a little crash course as well, since this is probably your first time with a runic instrument. Okay, so you see the rune here, and he points to the rune at the base of the guitar like a knob. What you do is you pull it, and he pulls on it a little, and you hear like a click. And as you do, you watch little runic circuits just all across it, and then fade as this slight hum comes from the guitar, though. And then you can turn it up and down for volume, and there you go.
Alrighty.
Make it good.
11 plus 1, 12.
Could be worse.
So anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Oh, please, no.
Okay, now.
Touche, dude. That was good.
Oh, no.
At least it's not smoke on the water.
Even my clashers sounded better.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Never mind. That's too cool.
Do it.
I was gonna put Wonderwall on, but it's such shit quality. Never mind.
So you
should put it on.
The stream.
Like this, like loud, echoey, like beautifully heavy guitar noise. Like really nice, like crisp but bassy sort of thickness to the guitar.
All right.
And the amplification, that's like, you've only got it at like maybe
Ruby's
4 out of 10.
Ruby's gonna
And
rejoin
4
the
is
lost
already
sound.
like,
That's 4 out of 10 on the
Yeah.
on the volume.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm becoming a little bit turgid with that thought.
So he heads down to the counter. He heads down to the counter and he is now waiting for you guys to come and pay. As he is setting up cases, like nice wooden, like blackwood cases.
All right. I'm just doing some math right now. I got calculator up. I
Hey, Marks. Question.
Yes?
I kind of say with a coy look on my face. I don't suppose there's any finder's fee or little knick-knack or souvenir you got for me for bringing in all this traffic. Do you?
Well, I did give you the discount, but I'm all right. And he reaches under the counter and he pulls out a little keychain that looks like a little symbol that says "Iron Symbol" on it.
I was hoping you'd say it was an auto call.
Seeing the humor in this smart ass, I take his keychain. Hey, can't believe you're trying, Mark.
All right, I added up. Oh, shitballs. Yeah, sorry, that's not quite.
Yes, shitballs gold.
How many platinum does that translate to?
Shitballs.
It's okay, Pinky. We know you're not too good at math.
It's 10 platinum or 10 gold to a platinum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
77 platinum.
Oh, Jesus, into my stuff.
77 out of your 240.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, gonna sound so awesome.
Not as awesome as my share would have sounded.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
he
he's
takes
telling me
your
to go.
money and he packs away all of your instruments in these nice blackwood cases. Not pretty sturdy, like latches and a metal frame around the outer side to keep it all, in. Inside is, you can't tell what it is. It might be some sort of like maybe feather or padding or something like that. With a fur coating on top.
I'm sorry, I'm watching Pinky's arm freak out.
It's far too soft and fluffy to be otter before you say anything.
Oh, man. What about the feathers?
Oh, damn it.
Too soon.
Never too soon.
Not soon enough.
You suck.
So,
Put your stuff, guys.
do you think
Yeah,
the local pub will let us
I
play
cannot-
this afternoon?
With these instruments, no way. They hate it when I play instruments.
This time
dude.
needs to have
Ouch.
some fun. Any kids
Rome
around
is
here
kind
that
of
are
a
into
quiet
the,
city.
the heavy stuff?
Wow.
Hey, we need to get back to. We need to get back, dude. I think Driftwood's probably getting
To be
bored by now.
perfectly honest, I'm actually thinking of moving shop.
Oh, well, we do have
Well.
a big gig coming down in. Fuck, what's the town's name?
Winston.
I can't read it.
Winston.
No, it's not in Winston.
Winston.
Thinking about moving shop, you said.
Is it in Winston?
Yeah, it's in Winston.
Oh,
Well,
do-
we just so
guys,
happen to
well, I
have a
don't know
large
about it, but-
building that we just
Wait, what about-
acquired.
What do you mean by a large building?
Really?
What happened?
I'll tell you
you
later.
know,
Okay, that's ominous.
Inheritance.
Anyway, yeah, we just came into
No.
possession of a fairly
Like, yeah,
sizable
yeah,
building. It used to be a fishery, but
You
with
say
some
in
work
Winston?
it might
Like
come.
Eros Winston?
Yeah.
Yeah. When
Our
you,
neighbor was a
if you
fisher.
back up and go, we can work out a deal for you. You hooked us
Remember
up?
that gnome
Oh,
that kept getting
inheritance.
punched?
How can I contact you? Do you have any, like...
He passed away.
Once you get to Winston, just look
Inheritance.
for the Spunk Orchard pub. You can't
Well,
miss
I
it.
will. I'll maybe send you a letter or two first, just to make sure that I'm not packing up and leaving everything that I own on a whim. But yeah, this sounds great. Me and Eros with all my stuff. Personal services would usually be able to just go to the house. There's no such thing as like a real post box, but
Okay.
It's Spunk Orchard.
Yeah.
and he pulls out a bit like a little shred bit of parchment and just writes it down quickly. Time to get out of this 2-bit town. Awesome.
Well, since
Right.
no one around here seems to want to have any fun, we'll
Trust me, you have no idea.
We need to
make
get
our
back
way-
before Drip
make our
does
way to
something
our
weird.
next destination. Thank you for your business.
Thank you for yours. And he pushes forward all these like hard cases for you, and the hard cases for the drums. There are a lot of drums. So it takes you guys. It takes you guys about like half an hour to put all of the guitar equipment back into the cart, the wagon.
Well, it's because we had to carry it from the store to the gate. That's right.
Mm.
Stupid little town.
Stupid little town. See. But you end up managing getting it all there. And it's now a bit of a squeeze with all of the equipment and you guys in there.
You can fly bird if you want to.
Just don't fly high enough to get shot again.
Or do it. I'll have fried chicken.
Yeah, I'm getting a little hungry.
Chicken is good.
When was the last time you even ate anything, Deck?
Let's head back to the
Long
cottage.
time ago.
Yeah.
Cottage.
So you guys head back
Jack
to
don't need food,
head
but
back
Jack remember food.
to the cottage.
Can I hunt along the way and like get us some?
I don't want rats.
Sure. Give us a nature check.
You didn't want to eat the mice in
Wouldn't
the
it be
house, so-
survival?
Survival, yeah.
Which I am not trained in anyway, so. 15.
Also, I swear to whatever gods, if you come back with a bag of birdseed, I will kill you.
He comes back with a bag of bird seed.
I kind of want to test out my new pan flute's accuracy. I want. Is there any
could
small
you
animals I
pause
can
and break
feed
that
with
ice,
a
please?
ball bearing in the pan flute?
You're
There
a
are
small
a few
animal.
small animals and such going around, like rabbits and the like. So you could try being
Do
one
a,
with
what would
a-
that be?
with a-
Dexterity or?
Yeah, I would. I'll
What
go
would
and
a
get
cart-like
some.
weapon be?
Yeah, I'll get some rabbits. That actually sounds quite nice. We can cook
Hold
a
on.
nice
I want
rabbit
to see if I can hit
stew.
one of these. Before you go there, just because I don't have good aim with this thing yet, I want to see if I can hit one of those little fuckers with the flute.
Alright, so dexterity.
Alright. So
I'm
I
the one
grab a
out
ball bearing
hunting.
from my bag and I place it gently in the flute. Alright, roll for dex. 5 plus, not good. 5 plus 2
Come
is
back,
7.
Rudy.
It's so weird. I was listening to you
So
guys,
you-
and then my sound went out.
You pull up the flute and you. And the ball bearing just like.
You know what? Let's
Less the
try
ball bearing.
another note. Let's try that again with another note.
I'm-
Go up to the
Maybe
next-
you should
I'm
just
perfectly-
not.
Give me this.
I'm
I need
perfectly
this.
able hunter.
Last time
And I
you
can
tried this,
fly.
you almost killed one of us.
That was a crossbow. That had more power. All right, let's try this one more time. Dex
10.
Why? Are you...
12.
This one goes a lot further, but you still skitters across the dirt. The rabbit scampers off into the brush.
I'll figure this out later.
There you go, big game hunter.
Hey, you gotta make everything a weapon, man. You never know when you're gonna need it.
You suck.
That's what these are for. And, you know, the book, but, you know.
So it takes you guys about an hour and a half to make it back to the cottage. So it's about an hour and a half. You guys make it back to the cottage, the, you know, large magical barrier. Oh, speaking of which, Pinky, I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Wisdom is 10. It's on the right
In
side.
saving
right?
throw. Saving throw in the small
Box
box.
next to your skills.
Wisdom is add 0. Oh yeah!
You see him just straight ahead, no deviation, as he passes through the edge of the that place where you know the bubble is. As you pass through it, and all of a sudden the cottage and that is there. You see it again. That blank field with just a few dead trees is now that little lovely valley. As you bring the cart in next to the.
I'm driving, baby. I'm driving.
Next to the little cottage.
How many rabbits do I come back with?
What did you roll for your?
15.
15. All right. Give us the 1d6. Big square one.
Big one. Yeah, regular traditional.
You should
die.
know you're part of what's in the box.
3.
Cool. Yeah. So I just love
Let's see what it is tonight.
So 3 hairs.
And I dive into the bubble. Do I need to make a
wisdom saving throw?
Oh, he's gonna eat pine
Oh,
tree,
no.
isn't he?
I hope so. That's always funny when he does.
Thank you.
You gonna do some?
Because that's the
Shit. I'm getting comfy to watch this.
So
How
you
is
guys,
5?
you guys
That's not a
watch
5.
as
That's
he
not a
is,
5,
you
that's
know,
a
like
2.
That's
diving
a
down.
5.
That's a
It's
2.
a backwards
The
2
5
then.
is looking
It is
at
a
me.
2.
I'm looking at the 5
I'm
right
looking
now.
at the
That's
5.
a 2.
Yeah, so you watch him swoop down and then just wings flapping like crazy as he stops himself and then backs up.
You still got that rope.
It's in pieces, but yes.
I want to go here.
By now,
But I don't
the
want to go
effect
here.
of the bubble is that people, it just forces people to not want to go there.
I want to get. I want to. I don't know what I want.
It sucks even worse for people who know that it's there, because they have that feeling of, I don't want to go there, but I need to go there, but I don't want to go there.
Well,
I
that's
need to
why
go
I drove
there.
around it.
Mm-hmm.
It's to stop people from just wandering into the clearing and
Circle
finding the
around
door.
and attempt again.
You made it in. Didn't he? Or
No.
Nope. He freaked
So
out.
give us another swoop around. Let's try again.
18. No, 19.
There
So
we go.
this time you go. No, I know this. I know this. I know this. You pass through the bubble.
No.
he
you
finally
were
joined
going.
us.
His turn.
Oh,
to
that
circle
reminds
around.
me.
We've
That
already
damn
made it to the
bird
door,
cut
so-
my rope. That damn bird cut my rope. Hey, Goro, I still have the pieces. You think you can cast mend on this thing? Get the full length back?
Who's Coral?
Fuck, I dropped character. Alex. I've yet to have to say your name tonight.
You want me to use an incredibly powerful magic spell to fix a length of rope that would cost you literally a few copper at the docks?
Rope, please.
No.
Come on.
Alex
Come
is a
on. Oh, you don't think you can do it? That's why. Yeah, he doesn't think he can do it.
All right. Are we back to the door?
I do what I want.
And
Yeah, sure.
in the middle of the clearing, you see a slightly open, ajar door. A small box has been placed between the door and the frame, but a tarp has been placed over the interior of the door, obviously to keep out bugs and flies while you've been gone.
That's what I've heard before.
Good job.
Okay, let's see how he's doing.
Man, he's a
Yeah, I'm gonna go
resourceful
check on
little dude.
Driftwood. I'm gonna go. Tell him we're
So
back.
Down over the box, open the door, pull down the tarp, and you can see the place is immaculate as it was left. all nicely clean. The stuff that you had pulled out of crates and boxes has been neatly put back into place. And unless you close the door on the rest of them, or they come in, you're going to have to go down the chimney. Which, by the way, is no longer a hole in the chimney. You can see the bricks have been removed, so it's a nice square.
Alright, well, I checked down the chimney to make sure there's no fire.
The fire is currently lit. I forgot that.
Alright, I'm gonna try to... I look down the chimney and I see if there's anything else of note.
Alright, you put your face down, and it's really hot because of the blast back from the fire. But you see there is another carved hole just a few feet down from where you are.
Oh, that's new. Well, I better go see. That looks like it might be going into my room. Ah, crap.
So give us a dexterity. Acrobatics. Acrobatics.
Oh, plus 4 acrobatics.
These dice aren't cursed like the other ones.
Hey, let's start unloading the cart, guys.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I give the hairs to
22.
I put the hairs in the kitchen.
Yeah, you easily pretty much grab onto the frame and do like there's the frame. You just go woof, round, and you are now in your room.
What makes it so
you can
see
see
the kitchen?
a very poorly made wooden, not poorly made, but as best as it can. Basically, a big wooden thing looks like it was made from a large, like, disused barrel cask that had been cut into a square with a facsimile, currently still wet paint, of the stone wall behind you.
Oh no, driftwood, buddy.
That's deceptive. It's like it looks good, but it's still obvious from the difference in like reflectivity and turn that it's not stone.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go find Driftwood and ask what this is about.
You come downstairs. You come downstairs and you find Driftwood currently sat behind the bar cleaning the table of what looks like dried sick. Further along the bar to the right side, you see a little bag of gold.
Hey, Driftwood, we're back. Ah, buddy.
And he just picks up. Just like, and you can see he's almost crying.
Oh no!
You alright, buddy?
Pulls out his thing. I'm sorry, Master. I did a terrible job with the facsimile.
Was Ruby filling in for Driftwood? Just curious.
That's kind of nuts in character look.
Was Ruby filling in?
Ruby can roll for Driftwood if they want.
Okay.
Roll the DM.
Right.
Alright, but buddy, I could have swore I told you we weren't going to do the hole in the wall.
You never told me not to.
Good point. Question, do you still have the bricks?
I used it to repair the framework around the door. And he points to the front door. Which you now see no longer has any cracks or blemishes.
Well, I'm going to have to use a cut of gold. We're going to have to get this thing patched up.
Wipes it away. Did I do wrong? I'm terribly sorry.
No. It's not bad. It's just... I'm just surprised. It's fine. At least
You
now
can
we
see
can...
he looks like almost confused from the reaction, like he wasn't expecting it.
I'll tell you what, let's just... boy. Let's put the bookcase in front of it for now.
Nods his head. Wipes it away. I made 24 gold while you were away.
Okay, I give up. How did you do that?
Wipes it. 2 large angry Goliaths stormed in. They demanded drinks. Then loads of more people came in demanding drinks. I served them.
Okay.
Good job, buddy.
I should think that's a good idea.
We don't know that because we're still in the attic.
He wipes it when he starts writing again. I tried to use my acid on one of them, but he just laughed and threw me.
Oh, no! Note to self, we need to keep you with us. We'll have to find a way to keep you out. And actually, on that note, you any good with a thread and needle?
I made these clothes. He says, looking down at his own little, like, tuxedo
While
shirt
they're talking,
and vest.
I'm unloading the drums from the car.
I'm helping him, because apparently I'm the only one else that wants to help him unload the vehicle.
So it takes you guys about half an hour again to... Actually, no, it'd be
way less.
Yeah, I'd say maybe around, like, at most, a quarter of an hour.
Alright.
I take the rabbits into the
we need to keep
kitchen.
you with us. We shouldn't be doing this. If I got you furs of similar likeness, could you make yourself basically a convincing otter folk costume?
Why not?
Sort of thinks a moment.
Because then we can get out to the meadow.
I've never made a disguise before, but I can try.
Yeah, let's try that. Next time I'm in town, I'll pick up some furs and we'll try to make you a disguise.
He's gonna look like
he goes back to trying to wipe the sick. He goes back to trying to wipe up the dried sick off the table.
While we're unloading, I also want to discuss how we're gonna try to take care of the horses and the carriage to use it in other places, even here locally. Alex said he had some type of, or she had some type of.
How do we get to the kitchen?
The door after we close
like here,
to the meadow.
like here, like that way and to the left. It's like literally around this corner there.
No. He's in the attic.
Kitchen.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't.
The only way you guys cannot access the kitchen right now because the door is open to the meadow.
And there's a
The
fire.
only other way
and
is
that's
the
only way up
fireplace,
there.
and the fire is currently lit.
Right.
So you'll have to close the door on them, take out the card, and head down the stairs if you want to go down.
Well, if everyone is inside, I'll just go ahead and do that.
All right.
The horses are outside.
The horses are outside. We're still trying to figure out what we're going to do about those.
Hand me that bag of gold, will ya?
He slides the bag towards you.
Alright, I'll take that. I'll be sure to get Pinker's cut. Alright, I guess I'll head back up to my room and go up to the attic.
Alright, give us another acrobatics.
Duck cock.
So anyway, Calic,
critical failure.
What was your idea for the cart and
Oh
horses?
dear. So you take 6 points of damage as you fall onto the fire, and your fur ignites. You are now on fire. Driftwood seeing this immediately panics.
You upgraded your character
And he is
sheet,
going
right?
to run towards you, grab you, pull you off of the fire, and he, not having anything else at hand, is going to pull off his shirt and vest and start trying to pat you down with it. So give us a roll.
Sick rag.
Give us a roll with his dexterity modifier.
Dexterity modifier is... I gotta pull up my page here. He's got no dex, so...
So what was your idea, anyways?
18 plus that.
You don't
He
know
just manages to put you out.
God damn it.
His shirt and vest are ruined to ash and like burn marks.
Oh, I'm
He
sorry,
just
buddy.
sits down. He just sits down, and then the dawning realization comes to his face.
Hey, what smells good?
He opens the vest, and a broken chalkboard is in there.
Oh no!
He sits there.
What do you have anyways?
14.
You're hurt.
Alex, you have to mend this chalkboard. Come on.
We can't see it. We don't know what's going on.
You hear him shout from the hole into the fireplace.
Motherfucker!
Right. My idea for the horses.
Yeah, you guys
I was gonna say we should have left them in Newham. Although getting the instruments back would have been a trick. And rent them out. Let the stable hands take care of them and rent them out and collect half of whatever they make off of it. That was my idea.
Can we at least get the horses in so we can access to the lower floor and I can stop being cooped up in the attic?
Is the floor strong enough for that?
Is it wise to put horses?
It holds him.
It creaks a little with him stepping on it, and the horses are heavier than him.
Oh, I guess we're leaving them outside then. We can just let
Wait,
them.
They're like massive Mustang, sort of big.
Clydesdales? You said draft horses.
Yeah,
Hey.
like
Yeah, this
big thing.
Yeah.
Put horses
Alex,
in
you're a
the
wizard.
cabin.
Can't you shrink stuff? Can't you just make them smaller, like pocket horses?
The only spell he has is one that makes them appear smaller. He doesn't have one that actually alters their weight or size.
Put the horses in the cabin.
Nope.
Well, I can't say anything. I'm downstairs just pissed.
The horses are currently just munching on grass.
Alright, well, we can just let them sit out here and munch on grass, unhook the carriage.
Leave them here?
The cart.
Yeah, we can keep them here for now, I guess.
Worst case scenario, they go outside the, whatchamacallit. They go
Dome.
outside the bubble and then someone finds a horse and, oh, I got a new horse.
Alright, well.
Could just
We've got everything of value in.
Longish ropes that give me enough
I
freedom
might be missing
inside the
something
bubble.
really
That might
obvious,
work.
but I might be missing something really obvious. But why can't we just take the horses in, close the door, and then take them downstairs?
Because the
they'll
floor will
fall
collapse.
through the magic floor.
Put the
and I don't want
horses
to know what's underneath the magic
in the
floor.
cabin.
I don't want to know what's under the magic floor.
The random evacuate
The
cabin.
didn't say the floor would collapse.
I've said
I said it creaks. I said it creaks with his weight.
Right.
Hey, Regine.
Yeah, but
Let's just leave them out, tie them up, leave them out there, worry about it later. We'll maybe have him take them back to there and set that up or something. Let's just not worry about it for now.
The bridle rope, that ties to their saddle and that is long enough to be put onto the ground or maybe tied to something.
Right. Well, I'm
While
gonna
still
tie
giving
it
them
down.
freedom to move around in about a 15-foot wide circle.
Right. I'm gonna move it to somewhere where the grass is nice and tall. Knock it into the ground. Call it good.
Sort of in the ravine thing, just under the hill that leads to the cottage.
Yes.
Nice and thick there, so you're able to just tink, 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 pin on them down together, and they just they don't care. They're eating grass. They're happy.
Right.
So everyone manages to get in. Door closed.
I pull out the thing and put it in my pouch.
Thank you. I run downstairs and I fly outside again, leaving the hares in the kitchen. And I just
So you just completely ignore the burnt otter sitting on the couch. Thanks.
You're
hey, what
weird.
smells good?
Yeah, what does smell good? Is Driftwood cooking up something new?
Driftwood pecks up at that, and he's about to reach for his vest and then just slaps his chest. He then makes several little signed gestures, none of which any of you understand.
I could always chuck him through the mirror.
That is an option.
You're burnt on the ground.
Don't think we should risk
He's like
that.
singed fur around the midsection and that.
Well, I
Sitting there
see
on the
him
couch
down
mumbling
there,
to myself.
and I say, you know what? I'm gonna try to heal wounds because I have that ability. And because I'm level 2, I get to heal 2d8. wounds.
Go for it. Would you like another D8 for your...
Oh, fuck, he's good. Nope, he's good. 7. I just healed 7 with one roll.
I have...
So
there you go.
I lost 6.
You'll be blistery when you're healed.
In the mirror still make him mute? Because whatever happened on the other side of the mirror must have rendered him speechless.
Oh, he talks. We saw it.
Probably just lost another prize position in the mirror room.
The mirror version of Driftwood didn't have a whiteboard and was openly speaking to their version of them.
Yes. I was just wondering if the event that happened
significance to himself
caused
on that version.
Driftwood to stop communicating had also, in reverse, caused the talking Driftwood to not communiate.
I'm shrugging my shoulders, but I don't have shoulders right now, so I
You're
hope
trying
this
to fuck us
gesture...
over, aren't you? Shut up.
You're not here, you be
You're not even
quiet.
in the house. Go fly
Out
away.
of character.
Oh no, he went outside and flew, didn't he?
Just me and Pink down here.
That is why I said
too bad, 'cause I was
talking
just
out
about
of
to be alone.
character.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
I healed you. I healed him. I did it.
Oh, you now have access to the book, so I'll quickly send you the...
Yes. I'm gonna grab that
full-
book and kind of start flipping through it.
There you go. There is the full list for you, including the boxes as well as the loose items.
Thanks for the mending, Pink. That reminds me. I reached into my pocket. Apparently, Driftwood ran the bar while we were gone. He made about 24 coins, 24 gold. I was going to give you half, but seeing as you helped me without even asking, just take the whole take the whole load.
It's
Take
for
24.
the band. It's for
Yeah,
the
you bought-
band. It's communal, except for the bird. The bird is weird.
Everything's communal for the bird anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially you.
What do you mean?
Including us.
Communal funeral. Communal funeral.
Oh no,
Well, I'm gonna grab this book and go give it a read. Flip through the pages. In the
Alright,
privacy
I'm
of my
gonna-
room.
I'm going to go for a swim just to kind of cool my skin a little bit, and I'll take my money with me and maybe go shopping afterward. I tell Pink that, or I tell Driftwood, actually, you know what, I should probably get this, I'm going to go find Calyx before I leave.
Okay, so you go wandering up to Calix's room, and he's currently sat there with that, tabby-looking brownish book that he's, flipping through, checking the little pages of, what is there upstairs.
I know you wouldn't mend the rope, but I really need I need you to mend something. I fell through the chimney and set myself on fire, but I'm fine. Pink helped me. Driftwood broke his shockboard and singed up his jacket trying to help me. Can you... Don't do it for me. At least do it for Driftwood. Can you at least fix this stuff?
Oh, God.
It's from his book.
Yeah, bring it over here.
Alright, I go back downstairs and ask Driftwood to hand me his vest and his chalkboard.
He hands you his little folded, vest and jacket with the little broken chalkboard.
We'll see if we can get Calyx to fix this. I head back upstairs and present
Nods his
Calyx.
Alright. So doing my thing, I'm gonna go ahead and try and mend this.
Okay, what does it say for mending? Does it require any rolls? Or is it just a straight up repairs small object sort of deal?
A spell repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch, such as a broken chain link, 2 halves of a broken key, torn cloak, or leaking water skin. As long as the break or tear is no longer than 1 foot in any dimension, you mend it, leaving no trace of the former damage.
Right, so I can say that you can fix either the whole vest, half of the shirt, or one of the cracks in the whiteboard.
How many cracks are in the whiteboard?
About 4.
Yeah.
Best. I'll pick him up a new board in town.
Alright, go for the vest.
So you pass your hand across it, and you watch all the little singed holes just vanish, like an iron
across a fresh shirt. It is now clean.
Alright.
There you go.
I better go get these back to him. I go back downstairs and give them back to Driftwood, and I tell him I'm going to go into town, do a little shopping, and I'll try to find him a new chalkboard. Until the meantime, just do what Pink says, unless it's going to put him in harm.
Oh, sure.
He nods his head and puts his little vest on.
Well, Pink's downstairs, and so is Driftwood.
He now looks almost Chippendale-esque.
Bow tie and a vest, and that's it. Does he have?
Because he's got the little tie, he's got his little cufflinks, and he's got his little vest.
His shirt's still shot. Alright,
Also,
well, I'm
Clam,
gonna...
I swear to whatever god there is out there, after this shopping trip, I'm getting you a little name tag that says Shopaholic.
Yeah, you shop way too much.
Yeah.
I also
You shop way too much.
Cora, just reading that book, some of the reactions of the items I can't wait to see.
Oh no, you have no idea.
That list has been sat there for so goddamn long.
This is gonna be like making someone read through the Bad Dragon catalogue.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's twice more fun.
What have we done? Oh no.
Oh god. Wait.
Oh,
is this book just
no.
like... Is it just a Bad Dragon catalogue?
really
Is that
bad?
what it is?
After looking at the book, I quickly run back upstairs and start digging through the encyclopedia. I'm
You
looking
start pulling
for
through the encyclopedias madly in investigation.
in the C's investigation. I'm looking for the chest of cursed bullion. That's a 2. That's a 7.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Wait, what?
So you pull through the terms. You pull through the terms madly. What did you get? A 2.
2.
You're looking through it
7.
madly and madly and madly, and it's like, oh god, you can't find it. It takes you roughly 15 minutes to find the piece in question. Chest of cursed bullion. This chest of cursed bullion, when passed to another, transfers the curse to them. Those that hold this chest of cursed bullion will lose all of their monetary possessions in life.
Wait. Oh.
I've been waiting for this moment. You handed a chest of cursed bullion that ruins the possessor to the fucking bank of the world.
Oh my god!
Congratulations, guys. You guys have single-handedly ruined, are going to be ruiners of the world economy.
Oh
no! Do you want to know the problem? Do you want to know the problem?
Gold.
There are only 3 countries. There are 3 countries left that do not have access to the royal bank. Azrat Pen.
Oh no.
Cabal Kanvit, and the Dragovan Empire.
Oh no!
That means one of those 3 countries will be ending up with that money. Because they're the only things left that are not technically the possessor of that cursed bullion.
So, can you just fill me in? When did we learn about...
Which is not, by the way, no longer a bullion. It is now hundreds of pieces of gold mixed in a sea of gold.
2,400 pieces of gold, for that matter.
2,400 pieces.
So basically, everything just transfers from them to those countries, just randomly.
Yep. And then from that point onward... And from that point onward, that gold is going to be sent here, there, and everywhere. Every single transaction, thus ruining the lives of everyone who comes in contact with those gold pieces.
But we'll be okay, though, so we'll be the richest people in the world, right?
We will only deal in platinum from now on.
Technically, that gold was still Durgan's when you transferred it in the bank. There was no proof of transfer until you guys handed it off.
Oh my god. Can we stop playing this game now?
So, okay, fill me in. When did,
do not touch
when did we learn about the name of the chest? Because I think I missed this.
I just read the book.
Just did.
Are you
know about it? Only he knows about it.
Only you know about
character,
this.
we know about it.
Only you know about this right now.
Only Calyx knows about this right now.
Right.
So, Calyx, you sit there staring at this book.
He just said he was looking for the chest of cursed bullion, like he knew what it was.
Because he has the brown. He has a brown mottled book that has descriptors of everything he has in his collection.
Why am I missing so much information? It shouldn't be.
Because you're not paying attention.
You're not paying attention.
I am paying attention.
It was because the mottled book was described in the session where you guys were just doing side stuff.
Quest.
He was here. He was like, I want to look at those books.
Yeah, no,
he was here.
You need to fill me in. No.
You did the search in the encyclopedia books.
The file with what's the content of those books.
Yeah, I sent him.
File.
It
happened like
just to him because I sent it to just him because he wanted the thing to read.
Oh yeah, no, oh yeah.
Is it?
Right.
What have we
So
done?
you can send it to everybody except for Deck because Deck can't read.
Hold on, no, okay.
You need to read,
with
buddy.
the book
Either
in
that or
hand.
with that big ass sword.
That's what I've actually.
Okay,
I was trying to
so-
mention that while all this has been going on, I've pretty much just been swinging a sword around, or at least attempting to in my room. Just
Okay, give a strength check.
Deadlifting it. I'm just practicing. Can you hand me the?
Oh crap! It's in my
10.
That is metal.
You've been sort of swinging it awkwardly around, trying to lift and hoist it, but no, guys, this isn't people. This isn't people who have thingied it. This is the countries. So you have crippled the government's financial infrastructure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm okay with this. I'm super okay with this.
I mean, we'll be the richest
You are a
people in the
shit
entire
paladin, dude.
world.
When money doesn't mean a thing.
Platinum?
He controls
Well, it's still
the
technically
galaxy.
it's
copper,
real.
and silver.
No, hold on. They hold real value because they're real metals. They're real metal coins. They hold real value. They're not paper money. Their mint doesn't matter. It's still that material.
Yeah,
It's
Well,
just
maybe
that
they
now
can-
our
maybe the
curse
countries can
materials
figure
now
this
mix
out
in
and
with
just
all of their all their gold.
Yeah, you never know. They may end up twigging that there's some cursed pieces among the gold. You never know.
We should probably send them an anonymous letter. Anyway, okay. Now knowing this, I'm going to go downstairs and get a very large mug and begin drinking.
You get a very large mug and start drinking the tattered the brownish book in your other hand.
Hey, why not get a very large monk as well?
What's up with the beer, dude? Or dudette?
I don't know, man, but I'm joining in.
Bruh.
Maybe it's better you don't know.
Don't know what.
But let's just say, don't touch anything in that attic.
And then you just hear
without checking with me first.
Because I'm swinging the fucking sword.
Okay, that's
You
ominous.
hear a loud whoop from upstairs. Sorry, I'm in cake right now.
I want cake.
Wait, you're eating cake
Good
at
cake.
3 in the morning?
Yes. Yes.
Lovely.
Oh, at least
I
you're
need
not like my
sugar to
friend
keep
who
awake.
bakes cake at 3 in the morning.
Oh my god, I
need sugar to keep awake.
Day
How do you think I
4
feel
and we
when you guys opened that chest? I was like, oh no. Oh no.
I love how you knew this.
How did you do that?
How does the National bank of the world not able to check for fucking curses?
Because they're not used to people who they think are verified government officials walking in with cursed gold.
I'm gonna frickin' like write a Reddit post about this one. Day 4 in D&D single-handedly ruined the entire economy of the entire world by trading in cursed gold.
Remember, you guys entered,
May and Freddie
you
Mac
guys
rolled into
entered,
one.
making the old man think you were officials from Eros.
No, we told them we weren't. We told them we weren't.
You told them you were an individual on individual persons. Yes. So they took that as someone from Eros with high standing.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, no, we're making that person Driftwood. He can't be seen.
Right. Okay. Yep. I'm drinking.
I fly back in,
too.
and I see Calix drinking. And I pull up a drink as well, and I roll for seduction.
That's the time to fucking.
I would say you have disadvantage. So roll twice. Use the lowest.
Roll again.
Well, I have advantage with I have advantage.
So it's just a straight roll. It's just a straight roll then. So what did you get?
You got a 7.
I got a 7.
Got a 7.
+2.
Yeah, if you have disadvantage, if you have disadvantage and something gives you advantage, it just becomes a straight.
Yeah. Yeah, I rolled 7 for my first roll. Yeah. So that's a total 9.
The most badass band ever.
9. Okay, I'm gonna roll my charisma.
2.
7.
No, that's a 2.
No, wait.
Oh,
no,
well,
I'm adding my saving throw. Wait, that's
alright.
6.
Never mind.
So
crap.
8. Or is that total?
6.
Right, 6 total.
That's total.
He sidles up to you, and your mind is so just like away from what you were usually thinking of. Him hitting on you, you have that staring in your loins again, that quiver of your feminine folds.
Right.
First we ruin the world economy.
Now we're
Now it gets worse.
Now you get moist.
That's a big drink you got down there.
At least you now
Squeeze your
know
legs together.
everything. You now know everything in that loft.
Yes.
You now have access to everything, so now you can check every item and know what's safe and what's not.
Nothing is.
Nothing is safe. Don't touch anything in the attic.
This is safe. Constitution saving throw, please.
On me? Or
No, him.
9.
Which one is?
Saving throw.
It's just
the
a solid 9.
Small. No.
Oh wait, saving throw.
9.
Which one? Oh, saving throws is
Saving throw. Small box.
Yeah, it's just a solid 9.
Right. So you would, after a while, even with the rag around the handle, you smell burning as you feel your hands as it has burnt through the rag and is now pressing into your palms, the base of the handle.
Can I let go?
Doesn't sound good.
Give us... Yeah, give us strength. Give us a strength check to see if you can drop it without...
What would that be? Survival, maybe?
No, survival is like foraging
11.
and
15.
making homes. 15. So you just clang, drop the sword. You all hear like a noise from upstairs. The handle is slowly beginning to the handle is slowly beginning to cool, but it is completely, now you've let go of it, you can see that the thing is now ashen rags. As the handle had heated up, it is solid white, like glowing phosphorus white, before it slowly begins to cool.
I just walk
I don't
down.
even notice. I'm too drunk.
I walk downstairs.
Alright, well, seeing that our money is going to be soon worthless, and I imagine it hasn't spread to the city yet, I'm going to do a little shopping. We need to get furs. We need to get furs and some linens.
I need a new rag.
Oh my god.
You
So,
can use a
at
sick
most-
rag,
At most, I'd say it would cost you maybe 5 gold to buy all of the supplies you need, you know, like the fairs and jazz like that.
Because I wanted to get obsessed to make myself a new suit as well, so.
Can I get a deal on that?
I swear.
Sorry,
if you
dude.
do-
I had to do it.
Hey, my character's greedy, okay?
Can I get a deal
My
on
deal.
You know what? I'll
So,
tell you
I'd
what.
say at
I'll
total,
clean the-
maybe 7 gold. For like the cloth, the fairs, and linens.
Alright. I'll grab those and just make my way back home, I guess, because we need these now.
I need a new cloth.
Oh, you didn't tell me that when I left for the store, buddy.
No, I'm telling everybody in the room right now. Just randomly, just walk downstairs, and the first thing that comes out of my mouth is, "I need a new cloth."
I'm still drinking, feeling really weird.
Not sure why, but
What?
okay, yeah. Find a cloth. Good for you, bud. Find a cloth.
Thick.
I've joined
You're
Calix and
sick.
is drinking as well, just for the sake of it, because why not? Let's get
I,
drunk.
I rolled a perception.
Constitution
for
saving
myself
throw from both of you.
to kind of
Perception
see if I rolled one for myself just to see if I noticed that
6.
Alex is.
That would be
thought about
insight.
something. Oh,
Insight.
insight? Okay.
That wasn't a roll.
Was that even a
Oh,
roll?
actually roll it.
That wasn't a roll. Give us a roll.
What was
That's
that?
a 5.
5
And
plus.
Plus for what you said?
It is insight.
Insight.
Insight. 6 apparently.
Oh!
So, 6, you can see something's wrong, but it's like, they're drinking. That means there's either something's gone really good or something's gone really wrong.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm gonna go over and ask, "Hey, what's up? What are we celebrating?"
I would pursue my affections for Calix, but seeing how she's getting so drunk, it feels kind of wrong to do that, so I stop my
Now
advances.
you're making moves.
Oh,
but
sure, now
before
he
your
has morals.
You two, Constitution saving throws, what were they?
Not chaotic evil.
Well, Ivor still thinks
Did you
you're
roll
right.
6.
6.
Do you need to die,
What about yours?
Gallium?
Wait,
Do I roll?
No, not you,
What?
not you, Gallium.
Oh, I said,
Because you're
yeah.
drinking with them.
Beam that son of a
Brace
bitch.
for impact, this dice is gonna bounce. What
Where'd it
the
fucking
fuck?
go? Did it go all the way out?
What the fuck?
Wait, whoa!
What did he roll?
Smashed.
What did I roll, Cara?
It's off the table, you have to roll it again.
Get it out of the freaking barrier.
What did he roll?
Your magic is weak.
I don't know.
Roll
it again.
Do it again.
Okay, let's
Maybe
try
a
this.
little
Let's try this in a
gentler.
different.
Just shoot it at me. It'll probably be safer. We're out again.
It's inside of you.
It's
Inside you.
Oh, and it's
Sorry,
cocked.
it's
cocked.
Can somebody just roll
Gary,
for
I will
him?
roll for you.
No, I
Take
can
that
do this. I
roll.
can do this. I can
16,
do this.
16.
18.
That'll do. That'll do.
That'll
You are absolutely fine, but I would like you to pick the most interesting the item from the list that you have, because you now, in your drunken stupor, have a slight. You kind of want to go see. You want to do some exploring with this shit.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
I mean, you've already done the worst thing. What could be worse at this point?
The mirror. The fucking mirror.
What could be?
The mirror.
What could be
Barry's
worse than
painting
that at this
packet.
point? You're gonna go check out Barry's painting packet. Okay, so you go wandering upstairs with your drink in one hand, swaying slightly as you head up, and you rummage around all the tarps and you find Barry's painting packet, and you onto one of the crates. Are you gonna open it?
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
look at it funny.
You look at it funny. It looks like a
standing
brown
in
duffel
the
bag
doorway
with
watching
a
this.
handle and a little clasp. And on the side, in sewn in writing, it says Barry.
I'm gonna slowly open it and look inside.
You open it, expecting the worst. And it looks like it's got paint supplies in. There's a paintbrush, and there's an easel.
Where paint comes to life and kills
And
sleep.
there's one of those little scrapey things. And there's a larger paintbrush, and a thinner paintbrush, and a really small paintbrush, and a hard brush paintbrush. And you don't even know what that thing is. It just looks like a stamp. And as you keep pulling these things out, you notice that every time you pull one out, something else replaces it in the bag, and this just keeps going. And then you end up pulling out a full easel and setting that aside. You don't even know how that fit in.
Some kind of massive bag of holding.
It is like an infinite supply of painting supplies.
Drunken Bob Ross voice.
I'm gonna set up the easel. I'm gonna get some paint and a brush. I'm gonna start painting a happy little mountain.
Okay, what should I make you roll for this?
Sleight of hand, I guess. Or dexterity, maybe.
Oh god, it's gonna be terrible.
I suppose dexterity, because that would take, motor controls.
Happy little trees. Happy little trees.
Yeah, dexterity.
19 minus 2.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. 17. So you paint your lovely little hill.
Oh no.
Little cloud. And you paint a little cottage on that hill. And some lovely trees. There's no cursed bullion in lovely trees.
Oh no.
Quite frankly, I'm more surprised Bird Boy didn't try to take advantage.
And so far there is zero curse effect, no magic aside from the infinite supply. It is just a bag full of infinite art supplies.
Oh my god.
I suppose by now I probably made it back, huh?
Yeah, you wander back with the little bundle of cloth, fabric, and
Alright.
furs.
I'm gonna grab my because I imagine Driftwood's with him.
I'll grab my painting and head downstairs.
You walk downstairs. You guys watch as he comes stumbling down. One mug and a big little easel in hand.
I went upstairs and followed him and watched him paint because I'd asked him what we were celebrating, and he didn't say nothing. He just got up and went upstairs. Or she did. So I grabbed my guitar and come back downstairs behind him because at this point I have no words to even comprehend what the fuck just happened.
You just saw her pulling the Mary Poppins thing out supplies out of this bag before painting a picture and wandering off back downstairs.
I would like to critique Calix's artwork.
Of course you do.
Perception.
Does Birdman understand art?
Perception is 12.
It's a really pretty painting.
I don't glean any world-ending events from this. I don't peel away some economy-destroying catastrophe.
If you didn't catch the goal, you're not going to catch a cursed canvas.
The paint's a little wet.
You have to keep in mind, he hasn't told us any of this
No.
yet.
I was saying that as a joke.
Oh, okay.
You know, like Sherlock Holmes bullshit. Like.
As soon as you said that, I just picture him lent there with like the little pipe and that.
Alright, well, while this all shit's going down, I locate Driftwood and I tell him, hey buddy, I got you some furs and linens. I know we should get your vest done, or your rest of your clothes done first, but it sounds like shit's gonna get weird. We're gonna need a disguise for you. Do your best to take these... Not now, Calix, sweetheart. Alright.
It's like the easel that the painting set up on the bar.
I lay Calix down.
Oh, I forgot to grab a...
What?
Clam.
Did I grab a... Keep fixing the whiteboard over time. What?
Does Driftwood have cold stuff?
I don't think he can make... I don't think he can even make salads, can he? Oh no, he did make an oil.
Your oils are pointless. It'll do anything.
I'm gonna power up my guitar.
Anyways, I tell Driftwood that we're gonna need
turn it to 1 and begin playing.
All right. Well, I'm trying to yell over this point, telling Driftwood that we're gonna need a costume for him. So take these furs and try to best make another Otterfolk, like, kind of costume out of it. And don't rush it. Take as much time as you need to make it as perfect as you can. We're gonna need this thing to work.
Okay, so it's a 3-part thing here. I'm going to need you to do a intelligence check and then 2 dexterity checks.
Intelligence check for Driftwood, right?
Yes. Because it's just him planning out the outfit, and then it's 2 for the
making. Is that a
making.
saving throw, or is that a skill throw? That's a
skill check.
Okay. Does he have an intelligence skill check? Just be a regular intelligence thing, so I guess it'd be a +2, so... Oh, shit.
Oh,
no.
no.
Be a 4 for intelligence.
You can see him trying to draw up something, but this is obviously something he has never been given precedent for. So
It's okay, buddy. You don't have to get this done anytime soon. Just take as long as you need to think about this to make sure it works.
Right, so you're just going to let him do it at his own pace.
Yes, to make sure it comes out
Alright,
as
so-
good as possible.
You don't have to worry about rolling further then.
Okay.
It's going to take him as long as he needs to do it.
Alright. And I ask him on that note, did he ever find the dagger of the clown?
Shakes his head and points to
the chest.
Points to the little brown mottleish book that Calix currently has under the mug.
Don't touch my books.
We'll have him try to fix your chalkboard once he sobers up, buddy.
Nods his head.
I'm not gonna fix anything, you do it.
Can I use some medicine to sober? Can I use some old Oracra methods to, like, snap Calix into more sense?
Give us a medicine check.
Some shitty coffee.
Give us a strength check.
So, it turns out to get over a hangover, you need more booze.
3.
You
just
think of the one thing from back up in the mountains of Bertha Khaleesi that you ever saw somebody who was inebriated get quickly sobered up again. You rear back your hand. Whoosh. Not that strong of a slap, but it was like whap, and your eyes are like, oh, eyes are open.
Well, this is turning into a shit show. I'm gonna take this chalkboard to my room and I'm gonna tinker with it until I can fix
You're
this thing.
speaking gibberish. You just walked upstairs and you just you painted a painting for no reason. What's going on?
I need to
You're acting strangely.
Oh.
So what do I gotta roll
don't
to start
need
tinkering with
to
the
know.
chalkboard, Decidius?
You're gonna try and tinker the chalkboard.
Take my tinker kit out and see if I can find some glue and some stuff, put it back together.
All right, give us sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand, huh? Alright.
Oh, just general dex.
Okay,
Oh, man,
general
that's pretty
deck.
big.
So that would
I was
be
hoping for a
18.
one that
Or,
made it fall
yeah,
apart.
18.
18. So you do manage to find some like adhesive. So it takes you a while, but you do manage to glue it together, and it's not perfect. But he at least has some space to write on.
Okay.
Jack goes up to
I
the
gotta go
attic.
back to Driftwood.
You head on up to the
don't
attic.
go there.
Roll an investigation to find something that looks cold.
Okay.
Oh no.
No.
12.
I'm gonna
So,
stumble after him.
In one of the chests, you find a liquid that is just oozing cold steam as you open the chest. There's like a slight broken bit where the lock was broken off. Inside, you see several eggs, about 6 of them, submerged in this liquid.
I'm stumbling after him. What are you doing?
stumble up
What
the
are you
stairs.
doing?
Give us a dexterity check to see how well you can make it up the
no.
stairs.
How is 13?
You manage to make it up the stairs. You just swing and using the wall for support.
What are you doing?
Happily buzzed, I follow Calix upstairs because this sounds fun.
I need something cold.
Oh, Tachi, you want to destroy the world economy or kill us all?
I reach my hand into the chest.
Okay. So you dip your hand into the water, and there is a unbearably painful feeling as you watch your joints, your metal coverings, and the core of your hand begin to instantly freeze. You take 10 points of damage as your entire hand begins to completely freeze through. You manage to pull back your hand, and the little sprays of the liquid that hit you freeze any little bits that it has cut to. Your hand is now frozen solid.
Why did you do that? I told you not to touch it. Why don't you listen to me?
I look at my hand, and I'm kind of holding it with one because that fucking hurt.
There you go.
It's frozen solid. It's frozen solid, and you cannot move it or feel it, except for pain.
Nobody listens to me.
Deck hurts a lot.
It's late into the night, isn't it?
How much health does Deck have? Oh, yeah, Deck's hurt,
At this point, it's afternoon.
Oh.
We got some hours back because of the time zones.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Time
that
zone
would be a case.
crossings.
I'm thinking about going out.
First you wanna smash, and then you don't. What are you even doing, boy?
Calix, on this man.
You were just outside. In or out, buddy. In or out. Like a house cat, dude.
It's just the dog sort of going back and forth in
Pretty
circles.
much. He doesn't know what he wants.
That's true. I never know what I want. I go outside. I just okay. Well, these things are just doing their cultural thing. Whatever. I'm just gonna do my own thing.
Doesn't even want to.
So you wander outside.
You're drunk. I don't want to take advantage of you. It's just
Put a pass that Ivor. It's free game. Got it.
Yep.
You're really taking that playing call way through, aren't you?
Oh, I love it.
So what are you gonna do? Your hand is still frozen solid.
I walk down to my room.
You walk down to your room.
I see where this is
Following
going.
after him.
He's gonna use the fucking no.
Do not pick up that sword.
I very, very
Do not.
cautiously place my
What
frozen
I
hand
just say?
very, very cautiously.
Why don't you ever listen to
like
me?
a tap of the finger, like it just literally the end just taps the sword.
You tap it.
You stupid robot.
I place my finger on the sword for like a second.
Tink.
Why are you?
And it stays there, and you feel the thing beginning to heat up, and you just see up the ice.
Thermal shock, you idiot! You're going to shatter your hand. You're so stupid.
Can we take a minute to appreciate color, everyone? I'm drunk.
This is what happens when you get the improv team in for D&D, baby.
Oh yeah.
So, I'll boil it down. I'll boil it down for you, Goose. You have two options. You can either try to heat up your hand now, or wait for it to thaw on its own.
Do not put your hand on the sword. Told you.
Upon hearing his drunken ramblings, I go upstairs to investigate.
He's like lying on the door frame of Deck's room, and he's just like,
he's got like his finger at the sword, and he's like looking at Cora. He's like, oh. I mean, Calyx. Oh.
Calyx, what's going on?
Oh.
Hey, stupid. He's gonna break his hand even more.
Deck feel like
very
shit.
little idea about what's going on, but seeing that Deck is defiantly staring down Calyx, and Calyx clearly wants to try to stop him, I reach into my pocket and I pull out the glass dragonfly. Hey Deck, I don't know what the hell is going on, but if you'd listen to whatever Calyx has to say, I'll give you this glass dragonfly. Doesn't that sound nice? It looks like the one that was upstairs yesterday.
Oh no.
Forward, don't touch the sword.
Dragonfly. It's made of glass like your eyes.
His eyes are made of stupid.
My eyes are not made of stupid.
Oh, Goose, I love you.
Deck is offended.
Is Deck going to go and write about it on his live journal?
Deck is triggered.
Deck, just put your hands near the fire. The fire's warming up slowly. It's gonna shatter if you don't.
I walk over and I with my good hand, I gently take the dragonfly.
There you go. That's
now follow
stupid.
Calyx downstairs, and maybe he can help you with your hand.
I stumble down the stairs towards the fireplace.
Dexterity check.
Please fail it. Oh,
16.
God damn it.
And you gracefully fly down the stairs like a Cyberman.
No,
Alright,
follow Calyx.
take your hand
I follow Deck.
and gently keep it near the fire. Warm it up just a little bit at a time.
I gently hold it up against the fire.
And it's going to take you 25 minutes to thaw your hand.
Okay.
I kind of sit down next to him and kind of lean on him.
Yeah.
Bitch.
You are kind of lucky being a Warforged, because if you're a human, that means your hand would be permanently ruined.
It'd be foobarred.
Yeah, which is why.
Because that liquid is liquid nitrogen.
Yes. I assumed as much.
Does that mean it's going to sublime away? Is that going to sublimate?
No, it's the chest is magically keeping it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
It's magic nitrogen.
No, it's more like the chest.
The chest
is
magic
keeping
helium.
the. Magic helium exists, dude.
Actually,
I'm
if
gonna
you cool
try
helium
and
down to
sober up
about
a little bit.
2 Kelvin, it becomes a supercritical fluid, and it has 0 philosophy. No,
That's awesome.
viscosity.
Like, did you
can't
just
contain
say
that shit,
helium at 2 Kelvin has 0 philosophy?
Yes, I did. I meant to
I
say
can't stand it when my gases are not
Viscosity.
Viscosity.
I hate it when I cool down my gases and my gases go. Why are we here? I hate philosophical gas, dude.
To be fair, Zokan, I do prefer my supercool gases to be, a bit more
I need to make
interested in,
a constitution
like Plato
saving.
than...
Constitution roll. It's a plain constitution roll. Not saving. Constitution roll.
4.
So you are sobering up, but your head is hurting.
So you
And
gonna
you just
listen to
sat
me
there.
now?
You just leant against deck.
I'm looking at the dragonfly.
Interweaved little thin bits of metal, like metal wiring around the intricately blown glass dragonfly.
Bitch, help deck. Thank you.
Yep.
You slowly start to feel feeling return to your hand as it's now like dripping wet with water, and it's like.
We're gonna have to get that fixed.
Well, this has been fascinating. Hey, Driftwood, there's a couple of hares in the kitchen. You mind making some lunch?
Nods his head, and he hops up, puts his little
hungry.
like linens and that aside, and scoots off into the kitchen.
Oh, that's right. He was busy doing that. Oh well.
So he is now going to start preparing dinner. And it doesn't take long for... Well, I say it doesn't take long, it actually takes him a while because he has to skin and all that. It takes him about an hour or so to prepare dinner and get it ready. And almost like a cat, he swoops
In and out,
just
and in
in
and out. Would
time.
you make up your mind?
Yeah, I'm gonna save us
So,
the hassle by opening
I
the
didn't
front
realise
door.
you were into Warforges.
I'm not. He almost
give
killed
it a
himself. He
constitution
almost
check.
just...
It's been another hour.
Another one?
So another
Oh, okay.
constitution.
Are you still snuggled up
14.
next to deck?
Okay. So now
I'm gonna
you're
move
feeling
over
a
the
lot
couch
better.
now.
It's like that.
I'm
you are
sitting on
so
the couch.
lucky you're in ASMR. You are so lucky you're in ASMR because this celestial blood certainly does help with quick fixing for being drunk.
Yes, I'm sat on the couch. I'm just kind of laying back.
Hating yourself?
Sort
So,
of.
anyways, you guys, what were you talking about renting out a building that we had to that Marks guy? What other building did we have?
Right.
Oh yeah, that gnome
Was
guy
that-
that
yes.
passed away.
Ivor, you can
That you
can
killed.
tell him about that.
That
what?
passed away peacefully in his
That you
sleep.
killed. That you...
In the street is more like.
Okay, Clam. So here's what happened. One morning, Calix and I, before Calix got in,
if you can.
Turn it up, I can't hear it.
So, one morning, before Calix got those little jubblies of his there, hers, I'm so confused. We were going out. We went out shopping. Unlike you, we were actually shopping for essentials. And this was, just for reference, did Voken punt the gnome and then did we go and sort of loot his corpse? Is that how it went?
happened.
Yes.
He fleeced him after he got
We were
punted.
We were trying to make sure he was okay.
That is absolutely a lie. Bear in mind, I'm slightly
Yes,
tipsy
it
right now,
is.
so I don't give a fuck about telling the truth or not. So... fucking music! Don't stop. No. I didn't say stop.
I never did.
Oh, I thought you did. Wow.
I hear it.
So,
Good work.
Voken had just left. We'd left. Voken punts that gnome across the road. We go out, check the gnome. The gnome's out cold, as, you know, you'd expect a gnome being after being fucking punted. So we decide to loot his still unconscious but not dead corpse. Not corpse yet. Until
You're fleecing the unconscious gnome.
I don't know.
we were. We were trying, weren't we? We were trying to see what we could get from the gnome. But then, then Bird Boy here comes
Mr. High and Mighty.
along Mr. High Claws coming out of his butt. Swoops by, faster than we can practically see, grabs the gnome but can't hold the fat little stumpy bastard, and drops him, and kills him. But for some reason...
Oh, fuck, that's what that crack in the sidewalk was?
Yes. And then somehow we inherited the gnome's stuff, despite the fact that we robbed... Hang on.
Thank Dick.
Was this the... Calix, was this the first or the second time you tried to rob
and
that
then,
gnome? I think it was the
Dick
second.
cleared my name.
Second.
Second this adventure. Who knows how many times before that you've tried to rob him?
Calix ran around the town naked.
Yeah, I kind of forgot my robes.
Yeah, yes, that's not the first time that's happened either,
Well,
has it?
explain why you
That's happened before.
You might want to be a bit more careful about that right now, considering.
Anyway.
The dead gnome, for some reason, left all his stuff to us. So now we own that shop across the road.
Left.
Did he leave
And
anything
also
else behind?
We took the
Oh, there
stuff in
was
his
a
pockets.
scroll. Not
Timing
looked at
on
a
that
scroll.
pause. The time on that pause just made it a pregnant pause while he just took a second and then continued just as it's kicked in again.
You're back.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. So we have a nomocidal maniac living with us who's constantly trying to seduce me.
Well,
And I'm
It's
pretty
funny
sure
considering out of character what you lot have done.
Thank God I have
I don't
Driftwood
know
there to
anything
keep
that
me
happened.
safe at night. Anyways, you said something about a scroll?
Hey, got it right here. He just kind of left it in his
Oh
pockets.
yeah, we never checked that
Open
scroll
it
out,
up.
did
Sealed
we?
scroll. It was a sealed scroll.
I broke the seal.
Yeah. It says that Williams III hereby leaves all of his earnings and possessions, not to his ungrateful bastard sons, but to those poor sods next door who have to live with that asshole Goliath. Hope you do better than I did, Williams.
This was a different scroll. This is the one we picked off his corpse.
Oh, the one you picked off his corpse?
Yeah,
That's a letter to his best. That one is to my dear bastard sons. When are you going to get off your butt-foot asses and do some goddamn work? The last time I saw either of you two anywhere near home or anywhere near the fishing yards was when you were bloody 10. Get your asses back here and back to work, or I will find you wherever the hell you are in the nine hells, drag you back here by your ankles, and throw you into the drink myself. Love, Dad.
Oh, I knew he was a bit of a monster, but Jesus!
I'm sending this out.
I thought his name was Gary.
This is what I called him, man.
Oh?
He never corrected me, so I never thought anything of it. And in retrospect, I don't even know if he heard me.
He probably ignored you like the rest of us do.
It works so good with the music.
I know, I love it.
Well, this has been both eye-opening and heart-crushing. Who wants lunch?
I'm down.
I take a
I would
bowl.
say no to lunch. Lunch sounds good.
Dick,
I think Driftwood should be just about finished downstairs.
I'm already there. I'm just like first of the queue.
So,
here's the
Driftwood,
food bag jitter.
Driftwood puts out all of the food, and it's nice. It's a rabbit. It's like hare stew. Not as amazing as the last meal because that one was more well prepared with more supplies. And you did tell him to make a thing with the hare. You didn't tell him to make something including the hare. So this is pretty much bare essentials hare stew. And it still works.
Looks good to me. Grab a bowl and go take a seat at the bar. What are you doing?
He is a bird, don't forget. He has to do that thing where he's like pecking the bits into his mouth.
He's got his hand on his head. He's like forcing himself to give deep throat oral.
Well, there was a large carrot in his bowl.
I would like that.
That's a one thick carrot, kid. Don't
Is my hand all good?
Your hand is good. It thawed, yeah.
Okay.
But it's like it still hurts.
At least your jaw's on this time.
Yes.
Want to see if Driftwood can tinker him back?
I really think we should be getting that. Well, it would be cheaper to have Driftwood tinker him, yeah. But we need to get that suit for him finished, because I don't think things are going to be well after the whole Bullion incident.
No worries.
I didn't say anything about that.
Deck
Yeah, you
go
still don't
find
know about that, bro.
blacksmith.
You were rambling about something hypothetical. You seem
I
kind
begin
of...
walking out the door.
You head out the door.
Where the hell is he going?
I love how you guys just
I'm gonna
fucking ignore me all the time, and so I'm like, well, fuck this, and
I'm
just
gonna
walk.
I'm gonna go follow Deck as he storms out.
I'm like,
but before that, I tell
like,
Driftwood
whoa,
to continue
I'm
walking.
gonna keep beating up the bar.
blah, don't worry, Deck go find blacksmith. Blah, 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 just walk out the
Scoot
door.
off. You scoot off after Deck as he is just
Slow
sort of
down,
like
Deck. We can get you to the blacksmith.
towards the
Buddy, come on, slow
blacksmith.
down.
Not slowing down.
Well, he's being iffy. I use my dash and I jump onto his shoulder.
You just scoot up onto his shoulder. You guys know where the blacksmith is, but you've never actually been in. Ever. So you head to the blacksmith. This is called Dornique's Blacksmithery. And you head on in, and sat there currently manning the blacksmith is a short dwarvish figure. Hair pulled back into like almost dread-like knots. Metal bandings keep the dreads in place with little skull designs on them with little emerald like socketed eyes. Massive ginger beard, all like interwoven into like Celtic knot style, setup. All coming together into one magnificent piece of beard that sits sort of charred and burnt in places. Thick, iron forging gauntlets cover his arms and a big heavy sash. As he is currently stood at the forge, just like, ting, 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 with a piece of metal.
I walk on in.
Donnie, can I trouble you for a second?
Turns his head. What do you want?
I'm not sure the
Wipes his
entire
face.
story myself, but last thing I know, I see Deck in pieces just start trotting here, and just to make sure he knows what he's doing, Anyways, he was
Come here.
Yeah, see what you can do for him. I don't know what he did, but it doesn't look good.
He turns around, pulls out a little eyepiece and some little, smaller tools as he hops down to the other counter. And he is a gnarled, ugly motherfucker. But it's that sort of, he could take you in a fight really easily. It's, barrel-chested, but massive muscle. He is, wider than he is tall. Massive, massively built dwarf. And he clambers up to the other counter. Get your hand here. Come on.
Put my hand on it.
And he's looking through this little eyepiece as he grabs a larger magnifying piece and moves it into position. Like one of those big table science lab style ones in there. And you see him checking it over and he's just like, "You've been to the fucking ice plains or what? Jesus!"
Yes.
Yes.
Alright. He pulls out the tools and he starts tinkering. This will be 18 gold.
I reach into my
And he starts
pocket,
like
question mark, and I hand him the money.
Yeah, you never described where you're keeping this. Should we say like a belt, maybe?
Robo butt.
In your loincloth. Loincloth.
Mechanics pocket.
Banner's like Bender. He's got a big
Mechanics
chest
pocket.
cavity.
I like that. Or chest cavity, something of that nature.
Just a Bender style chest cavity.
So he takes the gold and just slides it to one side as he continues working. And it takes him roughly like 5 minutes for him to basically disassemble parts of your knuckles and the back of your hand as you watch him intricately repiece together the magically created synthetic nervous system.
And I'm watching very intently this whole time, hoping to learn something from this.
Before piecing together the parts of his hand and the knuckle and just carefully piecing them back together. Maybe next time you don't go fisting a frost giant or whatever the fuck you did.
Roger. Thank you.
Where's that otter?
He turns around into the Hobbs bag, pulls out the piece he was working on, and just goes straight back to work.
Can he do upgrades to Warforge? Can you do upgrades?
In a Warforge?
This is outside of character. This is out of character.
Yeah.
Outside of character.
Yeah.
You've heard of Warforge altering themselves to better suit their needs.
Because I know how to take your hands up at the very least, so I could probably replace them with something.
He's look at upgrade.
Like more hands.
Oh, by the fucking forge. You and me to upgrade you.
Yes.
How much we talking?
Don't look at me, I just followed you here.
Deck have 72.
What are you looking for?
Gold pieces.
And he hops down, walking over to you, wiping like ash and bits of like ember from his beard.
Cold hands.
You gotta give me a bit more than that to work on, lad.
What's the name of nitroglycerin? Is that the no nitrogen?
Nitroglycerin is explosive.
No, that's explosive. What's the cold stuff called?
Liquid
This
nitrogen?
is out. Liquid nitrogen. Thank you. Liquid nitrogen injector. Deject.
What the fuck is liquid nitrogen?
He doesn't know what liquid nitrogen is either. He's stupid.
I think what my
Extendable
buddy's
sword.
trying to say is...
Yeah, let's go with that.
I could do
Tractable,
that.
extendable sword.
I could do that.
I
You'll have to leave your arm with me, though.
Can I just detach it?
I'll have to detach it for
This
you.
this is outside of character. Okay, never
Oh,
mind.
yeah, it's more like you can't really do it yourself.
Okay.
Remember I
Can
pulled
you
your
get
hand
a
off? Nope.
loner?
Could I get something to hold on to?
Just because I'm a dwarf, you think I'll go around making fucking warforged every day?
Yes.
Racist. He walks up to you and he motions for you to kneel.
I kneel.
and he pulls out like a massive wrench and just lifts your arm, jams it between your shoulder blade and your arm, and just and slams it downwards, and you just feel like it's brief. Like, give me a Constitution saving throw.
And I'm pretty sure Constitution. Yeah, 15.
Yeah, it's like a searing pain, but you're just like, and you hold it in as all of your nervous system is disconnected from the shoulder onwards. Your arm just loosely pulled into his as he just walks over and just onto the desk with it. You now are missing your right arm, which means you have disadvantage on dexterity checks that regard anything hand-based.
Roger.
So, you can pay me half now, half when it's done. Deal?
Deal. I give him the half.
He takes he takes half of it and he begins working straight away, almost ignoring the piece that he was previously working on. You can tell he doesn't really get to play with Warforge often.
I was gonna ask him. We never got a price, but seeing as I already kind of pissed him off, I keep my mouth shut.
And you can see he's already disassembling parts of it, and you see him just like grabbing bits and then just throwing them away.
Oh fuck!
Oh fuck! Not this one, Jesus.
I ask myself that every day, buddy.
You still need a piss off.
Roger.
All right, then. Clearly, we need to get out of here. Let's head back to the Spunk Orchard.
Roger.
I'd like to talk to Pinky about what his song selection is, and would like to do a practice jam with him.
Good luck with anything with a drum.
That's cool. We can do a practice. And
people jam all the time with drums.
Playlist.
Ever heard of a metronome?
But I think we should start with High Speed Dirt until you get that song down good.
Yeah. This stuff is all faster than what I'm used to back at home.
How long is the song?
I don't know. I'm gonna assume like 3.5, 4 minutes, something like that.
So per minute, you need to do a performance check.
Both of us do? All right.
Yeah, because you're jamming together. God, my balls!
16.
Ow!
Good to know.
Wedgie.
12. Oh, I sit on mine every once in a while, but that's just because I'm old and they start to.
Yeah, I shifted, and my boxes just went.
12 is my first roll.
Hey, Decidius. I thought it just occurred to me, if we do enough of these practice sessions, could we become trained in performance?
More proficient? Because that's why I practice guitar constantly. Like, that's why I was practicing with the dulcimer ahead of time. Okay. Just making sure.
Booping my nose, that's an indicator.
Alright, seeing them kind of starting to pull up their stuff, I grab my new instruments from my back pouch.
Okay, so
each of
you who are jamming, I would like you to make. You said 4 minutes, right, or is it 3?
Yeah, I think we'll call it 4 minute song.
4 minutes. We'll just round it off to 4 minutes. 4 consecutive performance checks.
Oh God!
So let's do the first one. So that's 19.
18.
No, it's one at a time. One at a time. So
20.
So you all succeed the first one. The intro you've got down.
23. Right.
So next round. Second.
I rolled a 17 for the next round.
17.
That's my second roll.
16.
That's 18 total for me.
15.
Both of you have the mids down.
I don't know what that is, but it's beautiful.
20.
Oh. That's
16.
7.
So you two have the solo. You two have your main riff solos down, but you're really slipping at that part. It's like your bit's a little fiddly. Just getting that rhythm, getting that rhythm down. So last part.
7.
16.
7.
13.
You keep it going for the finale there, but the rest of you sort of wane a little at the end, and it just sort of like peters off instead of finishing on a nice grand chord.
It just ends with the sound.
Yeah, that was rockin'. Is that the phrase we use, rockin'? Is that what we say?
A rockery.
I don't think anyone says that. We are not saying that. We are not saying that.
My cheeks hurt.
Oh man, that performance rocked.
Don't you have some fairy dust to snort?
Got any more?
I have a lot. I have a lot.
You haven't snorted a new drug
Bring it on, boobs.
Oh yeah,
Wait, what?
Well, when I get back, we gotta test the Star Drink out and see if it's. Well, there's no point making money on that.
What'd you
Money's
say?
gonna be useless.
Is it bringing on boobs? I'm ready for more fairy dust.
You said you wanted to test those crocs, didn't you?
It's like the skeletons.
Yeah, didn't I?
Spend the money while you can.
Yeah, for fucking shit.
So you guys eventually come back to the bar.
I have only one arm now.
Let's
Yeah,
just
you guys
let's
notice
we don't
he's
have
only got
to.
one
What happened to you?
Let's just
on
hope we
the,
don't have to play Where the Whirlwind Blows.
Well, Dak just took all of his cash, all 72 gold coins worth, got his arm fixed, and then decided to ask to have a sword fucking shoved into it.
Okay.
Oh, is that why he doesn't have a?
On this bit
It
of
looks
passing out,
It looks
it's
like it
4
costs
a.m.
an
I
arm
need to
to
get
do.
I'll deal with you later, bird boy.
You know, no one can pay attention. That's also good.
This.
What's up, Gallium?
I'm still laughing. Roger.
Sidious, it's
But
4.
yeah,
I need to
the
get going.
dwarf-
So, just assume Ivor's got even drunker and passed out on a sofa somewhere.
Can we quickly test the Star Drink on him and see what happens?
Yeah, let's give
We don't-
well, yeah.
Oh.
Hey, buddy, I got a drink I want you to try.
I'll say no because it'll take too long to deal with the Star Drink.
Yeah. I think I'm probably going to sort of end up seeing
that long.
everything if I drink that shit.
That's ominous. All right.
I can see
Okay, well,
colors and
guys,
I've got a soul.
we'll see you later, Gallium.
I'm down.
Anyway, yeah, just assume Ivor's got drunk and passed out on the couch.
Yeah.
All right.
And
if
on
you
that
I'm
don't
going
give
to
us time-
I'm going to refrain you guys to side quests only for this point onwards. For what time we have remaining.
When can you
Kissing
play
around
to,
the bar
Deciduous?
and around town.
Probably not too
Discovering
much
more
longer.
items.
Is it getting dark, or is it getting toward later afternoon, time-wise?
4 in the morning.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna
4 in the
start.
morning.
The sun's gonna start coming up.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
unlike last time where we started at like 8 and finished at around midnight, we started around midnight and it's now 4 in the morning.
Yeah, and I actually have to be up at around like 8:30, so.
I need to be up before 8.
Ooh, good luck.
Sidious, if you need to go to
okay.
bed, dude.
I was asking in-game time. I was just going to open the bar.
In-game time.
Yeah, I was just
In-game,
gonna open the
it's too late to open the bar. It's like now just reaching sort of midnight.
bar.
Early
that's
enough to
probably a
open
good
the
time
bottle?
for a long rest.
Are you gonna
I'll go
try
to
for
bed.
that again?
I go
Probably
to bed
not.
and rest.
Alright. Good night, everybody. See you
Alright,
later.
Gallium.
Right.
Good night, Gallium.
Well, with it reaching everyone going to bed, I can safely say we can call it here then.
All right.
Okay.
Before we go to
I mean,
bed,
it
I
was
check
fun
on
the first time,
Driftwood
but-
and see his progress on his suit, on his costume.
He is nowhere near ready. He is still taking a lot of time to try and make the design even half decent.
Can Dex stay up and learn how to read while everybody else is sleeping?
Sure, you can begin your self-teaching of reading.
Yay.
So you can mark
Hold on.
off 8 hours. So mark out 8 hours.
How long
Learning
did
to
you
read.
say I need? 100?
200.
200.
Oh, damn. Oh, this is going to be long. Okay.
Ooh.
Well, on the plus side, every night we have, and every time we don't play, it's going, so.
Yeah, you don't need to sleep at all. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Or for
seeing it's getting late, I tell Driftwood to set the plans down for now and come into bed. It's getting late.
Oh, you're gonna bring him to bed, are you?
I tried to explain dreams to Deck.
Oh, he's perfectly capable of dreaming. Your force don't need to.
They can sleep? I thought they were just incapable of sleeping.
We can sleep and we can eat.
They have the devices of humans that choose not to use them.
We just
They
don't
can
have
eat,
to.
drink, and sleep. They don't have any need to, so they don't.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I don't do that then with that information.
It's the same. It's the same thing with elves. They don't have to sleep at all.
I never knew that. The world has now expanded tenfold to me.
That's because you're busy dropping short people out of the fucking sky.
Or trying to sleep with your band members.
That was a good session.
But I didn't.
All we managed to do was, make some money.
If I hadn't been drunk, would you have?
I'm
The thing with that is, I was really excited. I was really excited to see his reaction to some of the stuff in the book. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like some of the stuff on the list has been sort of overshadowed by that reveal, which is still hilarious.
Alright, I'm going to stop the stream. So y'all have a good night stream.
Stream.
So ends another shit show in Spunk Orchard.
So when are you gonna tell the party